Hello, hello. Hi. Hi, Ninja. Alright, we are back. We are still doing Variable Barricade. Currently, we have gone back to the main house because the boys have set our house on fire, which is a great sign. And I still don't know if I like anybody so far, but it's an early something. We are almost done with Barbecue Panic, so hopefully that'll be over in just a second. I just had
前は確かあそこでやめたから。
憂鬱そうな顔をしておるの。
to go to work. That's the word I was looking for. You look awfully melancholy, Leah. Okay, first off, Grandpapa, you're my problem. It's you.
人の部屋に入るときはノックくらいしてください。非常識です。
Knock before you come into a person's private room. That's simply common sense. My mind immediately readied itself for a fight. I was on edge after today's embarrassing events. Grandfather would live longer if he kept his distance.
花婿候補たちとはどうじゃ?
I'm gonna kill
うまくや
Grandpa.
っとるか?
What do you think of your suitors? Are they starting to warm up? Are you starting to warm up to them? And with one question, my will to fight deflated.
どうって言われても。
I don't know. I didn't like Grandpa seeing me so raw and unguarded. It made me feel guilty, but I never would have had to endure all this if I hadn't been forced to live with the suitors. I can't ignore how a certain someone had foisted them up on me. I blinked and a realization clicked in my mind. That's right, he's the source of all my problems. It's you! My will to fight came roaring back.
その花婿候補のことでお話があります。
First, I have a question in regards to my suitors.
なんじゃ?
What questions?
彼らのプロフィールについてです。結婚詐欺師未遂、ギャンブル狂、天性の紐に歩く借金製造機。
Their backgrounds: attempted marriage fraud, gambling addiction, a natural-born kept man, a walking debt generator.
これは一体どういうことですか？どう考えても地雷物件ばかり。何の冗談のおつもりですか？
What is the meaning of this, grandfather? Is this some kind of joke? Every one of them is a scandal waiting to happen. Grandfather stood and listened to my indignant tirade and with a look of disdain on his face.
つまらんの。
Well, that's disappointingly dull.
お前は予想通りのことしか言わん。そういうのをテンプレというのであろう。たまには度肝を抜くことを言うてみ。
Okay. I don't like your haircut. How about that? Anyone can predict the words coming out of your mouth, you paint by numbers girl. Try saying something that'd knock my socks off for once. Go on.
つまらないって。
Predictable.
そういう問題じゃありません。
Predictable.
納得できるように説明してください。
That is hardly the issue here, grandfather. Now explain what you mean in a way that actually makes sense. My outburst did not prompt the reaction I expected from him. He was actually amused at my ire.
ほほう。だいぶ人間らしい顔をするようになったようじゃな。以前の能面のような顔より幾分マシじゃ。
I see you've learned some human emotion since spending time with them. I'm glad you're thawing out. It's preferable to the mask you usually
それ
wear.
だけでもあやつらに合わせた甲斐があったわい。
The introductions were worthwhile for that alone. Eee, hi, Yinny.
どういう意味ですか？
What is that supposed to mean? Grandfather's smile vanished, and a pall of tension settled over the room.
あやつらには
Dun dun.
お前にないものがある。それに未だ気づけぬは
All the
未熟
cords
た
are
る
wrapped
証。
around me. You're not even mature enough to realize they have something that you lack. What's that? The ability to make me want to vomit? Like, what is it? Something they have, but I don't? What in the world could that be? Honestly, I was gonna say something very inappropriate because they're all boys and she's a girl. But There's something. Indeed. Ignoring my confusion, grandfather made me ready to leave.
ま、せいぜい花婿候補の方からお断りされんように精進せよ。
Oh
可
well.
愛げは大事じゃぞ。
Do your best to endear
They are not.
yourself. Endear, not even endure. Endear yourself to your suitors. Don't give them any reasons to reject you. Turn up the charm. That's the key. I have no issue with that. They currently want me. I don't want them. He's gone. And with that, grandfather left the room without looking back. Try not to let them reject me. Endear myself to them.
余計なお世話よ。
But out of this, you meddling old vulture. I threw a cushion at the door. It plunged to the floor with a feeble and highly unsatisfactory plop. Which reminds me, this is why. Alright, the day after grandfather paid me a visit simply to tear into me, I returned to the vacation home.
お帰りなさいませ。
Welcome home,
Ojo-sama.
Miss Leah.
ただいま。家の修理はどう？
I'm back. How went the repairs?
ええ。無事元の状態に戻りました。いろいろと問題はありましたが。
Very well, miss. The house has been restored to its normal state, though there were a few issues. I could hear the exhaustion in Kasuga's voice. I decided it would be better not to ask for the details.
彼らは？
And them? Kasuga gracefully motioned towards the foyer.
皆様、待ち構えておられますよ。
Eagerly awaiting your arrival, miss. Yay! Just the thought of seeing them honestly felt awkward. Now that they had seen my mask crack, what would they think of me? And why? Oh well, worrying won't change it now. I took a deep breath and walked towards the foyer with as much courage as I could muster. I opened the door slowly, and exactly as I expected, I saw...
お帰り。
Welcome home! Hi! All four suitors waiting for me with big smiles.
ただいま帰りました。
I've returned. I tried very hard not to squirm under their gaze. I found myself tongue-tied. Their grins grew wider.
なんだよ、言葉遣い戻しちまったのか？別にいいんだぜ、素のままで。
What? Gone back to being all stiffy and formal already? Come on, you can let your hair down around us.
今さら取り繕ったって仕方ねえだろ。あの時のお嬢の迫力。
It's not like there's a point in fronting now anyways, given that emotional outburst the other
うる
day.
さい！
Shut up. Oops. Oh no, I didn't intend to say that.
おお、お嬢さんがうるさいって。
Oh, Leah said shut up.
かわいいね。
That's so adorable.
大丈夫。
Taiga, go
ありの
away.
ままの君が一番魅力的さ。
I think that's his one personality trait is to like poke you with a stick. That's it. That's his personality trait. You're at your best when you act like yourself. You don't know how she acts normally. I don't even know if she knows how she acts
彼
normally.
らのことは置いといて。帰ってきたばかりで疲れているだろう。俺の添い寝と膝枕。どっちがお望みかな？
Do we know how old she is? Because like these comments, like this is an older Otome game, right? Right? Am I right? That's the only way this can make sense, right? Am I right? I gotta make sure. Variable Barricade MCH. Okay, great. I googled this and the very first thing is Ichiya is 26 and Habari is 17. She is 17. That's a 9-year age gap. She is in her teens and he just said, "Do you want to sleep in my lap?" Like, why is there such a big age gap? Why would you do this? Okay. Anyways, I was just curious. I was like, how old is she? I know she's in school. She's not graduated. They're all in their 20s. Forget them for now. Now that you're back, I'm sure you're tired. Would you like to sleep on my lap, or would you prefer I lie beside you? Of course, Mitsumori didn't waste any time pouncing on me. Enough was enough. Forget trying to think. Forget trying to be polite. It made no difference to them. Why restrain myself? I was going to say what I pleased.
どっちもいらないっていうか邪魔どいて
Neither. You are in my way. Move.
ああ、ごめん。
Sorry.
セクハラは良くないよ、一夜。それより小鳥ちゃん、お茶でもどう？友人から美味しいお菓子が届いたんだ。
Ichiya, harassment is against the law, you know. Ignore him. Leah dear. Now, come. How about some tea? A friend of mine sent me a lovely blend.
ちょっと待ってまずは着替え荷物だって
Hey, wait a moment. At least let me change clothes. I have to take my luggage to my room.
お荷物なら私がお運びしますよ。
She still wants to change, bro. Don't worry, miss. Allow me to take your luggage. In one smooth motion, Kasuga swept up my suitcase and glided straight up the stairs.
お嬢さんがいつも座ってる場所、きれいに掃除しておきました。さあ、早く早く。
I made sure to your usual seat was super duper extra clean, Leah. Come on, let's all go sit down. With Mayuzumi at my elbow and Yagami at my back, I was unceremoniously carted to the living room.
どうだ？素人がやったとは思えねえくらいバッチリ修理されてんだろ。
What you think? Fixed up so perfect you wouldn't know a bunch of amateurs did it in just under a day.
最初から無茶しなければ修理の必要もなかったと思うけど
None of those repairs would have been necessary if you hadn't been so careless in the first place.
まあそう言うなよ。結果オーライってやつだ。
Come on, babe. All's well that ends well. How old is Taiga again? Wait, did I take screenshots of this? I need to know all the age gaps suddenly. Suddenly I'm more curious now that I actually searched her age. No, I didn't take screenshots of all of the cards. Aw, man. Well, that's my bad. It's fine. They're all in their 20s. They're all at least 3 to 9 years older than her. Come on, babe. Don't be that way. All's well that ends well.
でも動き回ってすっきりしました。一晩じゃ絶対終わんないって思いましたけど。
It felt really good to work all day like that, though. I was so sure we'd never be done in time.
うん。ナユタがペンキをぶちまけた時はもう終わりだと思ったよね。
True. I was convinced we were done for a moment and you spilled paint everywhere.
しかしよ、お前はほとんど休憩してただろうが。
Says the guy who spent the entire time sitting on his butt doing nothing.
僕だってちゃんと働いたよ。最後に汚れがないかチェックしてたでしょ。一夜よりも羊くんに怒られてないし。
I did my fair share of work, thank you. I checked to make sure no one missed a spot, didn't I? And I certainly wasn't reprimanded constantly. Ichiya.
春日くんのあの時の顔。ダメだ。思い出すな。ダメだ、俺。
Oh god, don't remind me. The look on Kasuga's face when I... No, I don't want to think about it. Like, what if she was 25? You know what I mean? If she was 25, this would be fine. And she wouldn't be going to school. She'd just be going to her day job. And then they'd be like, bro, you need to get married, okay? Grandpa wants to retire. You're the one taking over the thing. And then we don't have this awkward, weird age gap where she's in high school. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. The next game I play, they can't be teenagers. I'm gonna have to check the age of all the MCs of the games I still haven't played yet. Like, this is... I just need a break from teenagers. I was really glad I hadn't asked for any details. Like, I'm fine with age gaps when the girl's in her 20s. I don't care too much for age gap. When you're in your 20s, it's all you. If it's before their 20s, it just feels weird and awkward. Especially if they're 17. That's not even... Well, I don't know about Japan. That's not a legal adult. That's not a legal adult. I was really glad I hadn't asked for any details. Ooh, the MC in Dairoku has real court job. Isn't that the one where they're like a detective agency? And it's like yokai? I know I have that one. That might be the next one then. I don't think there's another game out in September right now. I have to double check. Nice. Well, then we'll do Dairoku next. What in the world could people like this have that I don't? I sighed, feeling like I had been assigned a puzzle that had no solution. But grandfather had challenged me. There was no way I would ever wave the white flag. Oh, my copy of oh gosh. Haku Oki. My copy of that finally shipped. But I don't know if I want to play it right now, which is actually why I'm not playing it this month, because I like period pieces. I don't know what the right word is, but I also don't like playing them at the same. I have to be in a mood to play like Winter's Wish. I have to be in a mood for that, which is why I haven't played Bushiro Hana yet. Which also, she's a teenager, so she's not next either way. Grandfather had challenged me. There was no way I would ever wave the white flag. But you know what? I don't know, man. Right? Everyone has something wrong with them. I don't know if she should be living in a house with a bunch of guys that are older than her. I would find that something that he had been so coy about and then throw it right in his sneering face.
Kotori-chan, どうしたの?
Leah, what's the matter? Everything. The others were looking at me worriedly. That's when I realized I'd been grinding my teeth again.
別に
Nothing. Right then, I made a solemn vow to myself. I was not going to fall for any of them. Alright, end of the game. We did it. She's not going to fall in love. She's not falling in love, guys. Alright, let's see what's next. Alright, so we can go down here. When I met Kasuga. Oh, okay. Or Tsumugi's Appraisal. We're gonna see When I Met Kasuga. You just pretend the game ends right there. We're done. We did it. She's free. She learned. I had no memory of anything before the age of 5. Ah, dark. I was told that I lost my memory due to the shock of learning about my parents' death. It all sounded like someone else's story, and the thought of it didn't make me feel anything in particular. I didn't have enough memories to give me a reason to grieve, even if I wanted to. Oh my god! Am I in prison? Wait. She's got a buddy with an eye patch. My memories begin from when I was about 5 years old. I was living at the Kamakura family estate. I was all alone in a giant, dim, unfamiliar house. I sat there in a daze, not even sure why I was there. I was told my father and mother were no longer with us, and that from now on this place was my home. I was going to be the Tojo heir, and I would have to receive the necessary education for that.
いつまでそうしておるつもりじゃ。
How long are you going to sit there? Okay. I feel for her because this is a very common problem. I think everyone has this issue. Grief is different for everyone. People handle it differently. Kids especially are going to take grief a lot different than an adult because to them, they are so young, everything feels like forever. And there are so many people who want to rush it. Like, you are never going to stop being sad. You're just going to start feeling it less and less. It takes a long time. And this is trash. The man who claimed to be my grandfather was just a stranger to me then. Even when this man took me in and told me I was his family, I still didn't
ま
understand.
ともに飯も食っておらんそうじゃな。
Doesn't seem like you've
腹
been
は減
eating.
らんか。
Aren't you hungry? His face was stern and scary. Rather than become attached to him, I feared him and cried every time he came near me. I couldn't believe that he was on my side.
お嬢様、少しお庭に出ませんか？
Miss, would you like to go outside for a bit?
お嬢様、甘いものはいかがですか？
Would you like some sweets?
お嬢様、お昼寝を。
It's time for your nap.
お嬢様、何か欲しいものは？
Is there anything I can get you? Everything all those unfamiliar adults said to me seemed kind, however.
ダメね。今日も返事をしてくださらなかったわ。手のかかる子。
It's no use. Once again, she doesn't respond to anything I said. What a handful. Trash.
どうしましょう。食べてくださらないと、私が叱られてしまうわ。
What should we do? We'll get reprimanded if she doesn't
聞い
eat.
ているのか聞いていないのか、反応もしてくれないから困るわ。どうしたらいいの？
I can't tell if she's even listening because she won't respond. What are we supposed to
王
do?
女の後継ぎはお嬢様だけなんだし、今のうちに取り入っておかないと。
She's the only heir to the Tojo family. We've got to cozy up to her while we still can. Their intentions were crystal clear to me, even at that young age, so I didn't want to get close to them. They had a hard time dealing with my unresponsiveness, and they stopped approaching me before long. So I remained in solitude. I was all alone for a long time. I couldn't trust anyone and I couldn't rely on anyone. I eventually got tired of crying, got used to the situation I was in, and started my education as the heir. In the midst of my busy life, I began to aspire to be the perfect noble lady, Leah Tojo. By the time I think I had already made my mind and was going to fight my battles alone in this house. One day after 4 years of living in solitude, a person came to me soon after I turned 9 years old.
はじめまして、お嬢様。春日とお呼びください。
It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Miss Leah. Please call me Kasuga.
今日から私がお嬢様のお世話をします。
As of today, I shall care for you and serve you in all ways.
私はお嬢様の味方です。
Baby
ずっとそ
Kasuga
ば
is
に
so
いて
cute.
お守りしますね。
I'm also glad that he's young because I was so afraid he's gonna look the same he does now, and I'd be like, oh man, he's just got a baby face and he's also like 30. He can't date her. I am absolutely your ally, Miss Leah. I shall always be by your side and I will protect you from everything. His arrival brought an end to my solitude.
夢？
Was I dreaming? I walked into the living room and saw the boys waiting for me, noisy as ever.
おはよう、マイハニー。君のために今朝も朝食にはこだわったよ。
You're not
甘い
Alan.
デザートも用意してあるからね。
Don't talk to me like that. This isn't Alan, right? That's not Alan. Don't say my honey. Good morning, my sweet darling. I made a breakfast for you today. I even prepared a delicious dessert too.
おはようございます、お嬢さん。今日も絶好のランニング日和ですよ。
Good morning,
帰
Leah.
ってきたらテニスやりません？
Temu Alan. No. Today's another perfect day for a run. Oh, how about we play some tennis when you get home?
おはよう、小鳥ちゃん。今朝は裏庭のお花もきれいに。どうしたの？
I'll say the
顔色
walking
悪いよ。
debt collector. Personality wise, I just like Labradors. They're cute. At least they're very lovey. I like that. That's probably my favorite one at this point. I thought it was going to be Shion, but I still don't know. He's a fae, which is fine. But faes have no responsibility in the real world because they don't belong here. That's why he doesn't want to work. Morning, Leah. The flowers in the courtyard look gorgeous. What's wrong? You don't look so good. I looked away in an attempt to avoid Shion's intense gaze because that's how faes are.
なんでもないから。
Nothing's wrong.
その割にふてくされた顔してるぜ。
That ain't what your sourpuss face is saying.
なんでもないってば。
I told you I'm fine. Oh god, there's this SNL thing where it's all like, it's like a t-shirt, it's all like, I'm fine. But if people keep asking me if I'm fine, I'm gonna start crying. Nayuta smiled anxiously, probably in response to my strained voice.
とにかくご飯食べましょう。ご飯食べたらきっと元気出ますよ。
Anyways, how about we have some breakfast? I'm sure you'll feel better after some food.
ああ、そうだね。
Yeah, yeah, good
俺の料理を
idea.
食べれば笑顔に。
My cooking will bring a smile to your face.
今日はもう学校行くから。
I have to leave for school already. Man, my girl's got depression. Alright, I left the living room though the boys looked like they still had more to say. I didn't know why, but I just wasn't interested. I tried to respond to what they said, but some part of my mind refused to do so. Discomfort and frustration that I couldn't act normally surged through my mind. I closed the front door, my head still in a fog. Kasuga heard the sound and stopped preparing the car to look at me.
登校にはまだお早い時間ですが。
Is it not a little early to leave for school?
いいの。もう行くわ。
It's fine, let's just go now. Hear me out, right? They're rich, right? They got money. She can eat breakfast on the way to school. She's like, I want a stroop waffle. Let's go. Like, she doesn't have to eat breakfast at home.
また彼らと喧嘩でも。
Did she get into another fight with them?
そんなんじゃないわ。ただ、用事を思い出しただけ。
It's nothing like that. I just remember I had something to do.
そうでしたか。
I see.
ええ。
Wait, did Baby... Hang on, I'm too easily distracted. Did Baby also cover his eye? Does Baby have... What's going on with your other eye? I gotta know. I was relieved when Kasuga didn't ask any more questions, but seriously, nothing even happened.
お待たせいたしました。お車へどうぞ。
Thank you for your patience. Please have a
あり
seat.
がとう。
Thank
いっ
you.
てらっしゃいませ。
Have a good day. Oh. I waited until Kasuga was out of sight before letting out a breath I had been holding. I knew that alone wouldn't get rid of the feeling in my chest, but I couldn't help myself. The bright sunlight shining through the window exacerbated the pain in my chest. It was all because of that dream. The dream I had. That's why I was out of sorts. I didn't want to be around anyone when I felt like this, especially the boys.
ごきげんよう。
Good morning, Leah. Aw, their outfits are really cute for school.
ああ、おはよう。
Good morning. I managed to give some semblance of a smile, but Tsumugi frowned at my
何
expression.
かありまして？
Did something happen?
うんうん。ちょっと
No.
頭痛がするだけ。
It's just a headache, that's all.
そうですの？
Really?
ええ。
Yeah. Tsumugi opened her mouth to say something but closed it again. She then smiled gently
何
instead.
かあればいつでも声をかけてくださいね。
Just let me know if you need anything, okay? Alright. I'm sorry, Tsumugi. I wasn't confident I could clearly explain it. I knew it was my own problem, but I couldn't even articulate it to myself. I'm sorry. I lowered my gaze and sighed softly. After coming home, I made sure to look away from the boys as they waited for me by the door and went directly to my room. I moved quickly like I was running away. One step forward, one step back. I laid down on the couch feeling insecure and miserable. I definitely wasn't leaving my room again today. I didn't want to go out feeling like this. I was sure I'd make anyone I talked to feel uncomfortable. And I despised myself for it. I hate that. It'd be stressful and miserable. My whole body cringed as I imagined it in all its awfulness. So until I settled down, hearing a knock, I look over and saw Kasuga quietly enter through the partially open door. I pretended not to notice him and pressed my face to my knees.
どこか痛いところでも。
How are you feeling? He spoke like he was trying to soothe a child. I shook my
本
head.
当に。
No? I could feel his gaze coming right next to me. I knew even though I couldn't see his face, whenever Kasuga set out to listen to me, he always gave me his full attention. I looked up from my knees and Kasuga was smiling at me just as I thought he'd be. I swallowed as if to try and push down the painful thoughts and slowly started to
あのね、
speak. So, yes.
今朝、小さい頃の夢を見て。 東条に引き取られて春日に出会うまでの いろんなこと。
This morning I had a dream about when I was little. It was about after I came to the Tojo estate up until I met you and all sorts of things.
それだけよ。本当に何でもないの。あの頃のことを思い出したから、ぼーっとしちゃっただけ。
That's all. It's nothing really. I've just been in a daze because of thinking about that time in my life. Kasuga's eyes widened for a moment as I stumbled to explain, and then he quickly smiled.
そ
I
うでしたか。
see.
だから、しばらく放っておいてくれれば、すぐ。
So I just need a little time to myself, and I'll be right as rain soon. My voice suddenly began to tremble, so I immediately stopped speaking. I needed to be alone right now. That's what I kept telling myself. Then something gently touched my hand. It was warm, soft, and kind. It took a moment for me to realize that it was Kasuga's palm.
話してください。
Please talk
ゆっ
to
く
me.
りでいいですから。
You can
あの
talk.
頃を一緒に過ごしたあなたと私の中ではありませんか。
You can take all the time you need. We spent all that time together, just you and I, right? Kasuga's playful tone and subtle warmth allowed me to open up a
特
bit.
別なことを思い出したんじゃないの。ただ、あの頃の不安とか寂しさとか、そういう気持ちが蘇ってきただけ。
And this also explains why she was so upset when he lied to her, because like this was the first person she trusted after like 4 years of feeling like this. I didn't remember anything in particular, just the feeling of anxiety and loneliness. They all came rushing back to me. It was so long ago now. I had shoved away my own misery and ignored it.
確かに初めてお会いした頃のあなたは口も聞かず笑顔も見せないお子様でした。
When we first met, you
9
certainly
歳と
never
は思え
spoke
ないほど
or
堅くなでし
smiled.
たね。
You were so obstinate that it was hard to believe you were 9 years old. I don't know what that means.
あなたに笑っていただくにはどうしたらよいか。あの頃はそればかり考えていました。もちろん今も変わりませんが。
All I thought about was how I could make you smile, though not much has changed in that regard, of course. Oh gosh, is this Roddy? Surprised this isn't voiced by Roddy. When Kasuga said that and smiled at me, I felt like I could see my younger self reflected in his eyes, which made me uneasy.
だってあの頃は周囲の人がみんな怖かったのよ。春日のことも新しい敵だって思ったもの。
I was afraid of everyone around me at that time. I thought you were another enemy.
敵ですか。
An enemy, huh? Kasuga spit out the words like I'd caught him off guard.
いいじゃない。今はもうそんなことないんだから。
You know what I mean. I don't feel that way anymore, though.
ええ、敵から脱却できて光栄ですよ。
I'm honored you no longer think of me as an enemy.
もう
Oi! Kasuga gently patted my hand in an attempt to calm me after I turned away from him.
私とあなたはゆっくりと長い時間をかけて関係を築いてきました。
You and I have built our
だから
friendship
こそ
slowly over
私にしか見抜けないこともあるんですよ。
a long period of time. That is why you are so... There are some things that only I can see through. Kasuga, I really like him. I liked him the whole time. Everyone kept telling me they don't like him. I'm worried. See, half of you have played this, and I don't know what I'm getting into.
うん。夢を見たのには何かしらの原因があると思うのです。
I think something triggered your
例えば、
dream.
誰かに何か言われたとか。
Perhaps someone said something to you. Perhaps someone said something. The answer came to me in a flash, taking my breath away. Something definitely came to mind, but I was afraid that if I said it out loud, I'd have to face it. I remained silent, and Kasuga grinned at me. Confess. The oppressive silence made me sigh, then
おじい
speak.
様に会った時言われたの。彼らは私にないものを持ってるって。
Was it a loving,
それが何なのか。
supporting family? Because
わからなくて。
that's messed up. When I met with grandfather, he told me the boys have something I don't. I haven't been able to figure that out yet.
ねえ 春日にはわかる？
Kasuga, do you know what it is? I fixed my gaze on him and he tilted his head slightly to the side.
そうですね。確かに努力が必要なことはいくつか思い当たります。
I can certainly think of a few things that could use more effort on your part. For example,
コミュニケーション能力については
they don't have
最
that
優先に
either. Oh
改善すべ
no!
きですね。
You should make improving your communication skills a top priority.
それから語学の発音に苦手意識を持ちすぎです。あとは
Kasuga, no. Stop. Stop now. And you are too self-conscious about your poor pronunciation of foreign languages, and
そうい
then
うことじゃない。
that's not what I meant. Kasuga smiled with amusement at my
もちろん
displeasure.
冗談ですよ。
I jest, of course.
ただこのことを考える前に知っておかなければいけないのは完璧な人間は存在しないということです。
However, what you need to understand before you continue this line of thought is that there is no such thing as a perfect
それ
person.
は大旦那様も含めてのことですから、お嬢様にも欠けている点はあってしかるべきものなんです。
That includes the master. Therefore, it is only natural that even you would have shortcomings, Miss Leah.
もちろん大旦那様がおっしゃるのであれば彼らにも取り柄はあるのでしょう。
Of course, if the master says so, then the gentleman must have some redeeming features.
だからといってあなたが彼らより劣っているとは思いませんし、絶対的にありえません。
That
これは
does,
確実です。
that does not mean I think you are inferior to them, not in the least bit, most certainly not. His strong assurance mildly alarmed me, so I couldn't say anything back.
お嬢様は自分の欠点を補うため日々努力を重ねています。一番近くで見てきた私が言うのですから、
You have
絶対です
spent
よ。
every day working to improve yourself, Miss Leah. You make up for your weaknesses. I've been closer to you than anyone, so you know what I say is true.
それにあなたを手塩にかけて育てたのは誰か
Besides, have you
お忘れ
forgotten
ですか？
who raised you to be who you are today? Kasuga's smile brimmed with confidence, and I was momentarily stunned. Then I burst out laughing.
何よそれ。それじゃあまるで私は春日がいないとダメみたいじゃない。
You are. Just hear me out. You are helpless. Oh, goodness. Come on. What are you saying? That makes it sound like I'm hopeless without you.
違いますか？お嬢様には私がついておりませんと。
Do I not support you, Miss Leah?
そこまで言われたら心強いわ。
It's reassuring to hear you say so. Kasuga threw back his shoulders even more as I continued to laugh.
心強く思ってくださって結構ですよ。私がおそばにいる限り、お嬢様は絶対に大丈夫です。
You should feel that way. For as long as I am by your side, you will always be okay, Miss Leah. I'll always be okay. As soon as I heard those words, everything that had been weighing on my mind suddenly
お
disappeared.
そらくご自分で思っているよりストレスが溜まっていたのでしょう。
I dare say you've been under more stress than you
急
think.
激な環境の変化や突然の共同生活、見えない大旦那様の思惑。
What with the sudden change in your surroundings, living with suitors, and not knowing the master's intentions.
そうなれば疲れてしまうのも当然です。
It's only natural to feel exhausted. You have done your best. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, sir. Kasuga's kind words made me feel a little like crying, even if he didn't intend it.
何よ。いつもは助けてって言っても知らんぷりのくせに彼らの味方ばっかりするくせに。
Whenever I ask for your help, you pretend like you have no clue and you always take their side.
甘やかしすぎは厳禁。これは立派な方を育てる基本ですよ。
I cannot coddle you too much. This is the foundation of raising a fine young lady.
ただお疲れの時には嫌がられても甘やかします。これは私の主義ですが、小さい頃からそうしていたでしょ。
I shall coddle you when you are exhausted, even if you do not want me to. This is my philosophy. Have I not been doing so since you were little?
小さい頃って、もう子供じゃないんだから。
That was when I was a kid. I'm not a baby anymore. I'm not a baby.
おや。では、私の甘やかしはご卒業ですか？
So you've outgrown me taking care of you then?
それとこれとは
I wouldn't say
別。
that.
あなたは、まったく。
What am I going to do with you? I don't know. Feed me? Kasuga chuckled a little awkwardly and gently patted my hand. I'll be okay. Kasuga has said that confidently to me when I was drowning in anxiety. I had faith in his words because he was my closest ally and the person who knew me better than anyone else. From the day we met till now, I was sure that would never change. That's why I knew I'd be okay. Well, that's just sweet. That's just nice.
もう静かにして。
Oh my gosh, be quiet. I reprimanded the boys for being so noisy as soon as I walked into the living room.
まったく、どうしたらそんなに大騒ぎできるのよ。
For goodness sakes, how can you guys be so rowdy? I crossed my arms in dismay and they all looked at me with their mouths agape. And then...
お嬢さん、元気になったんですね。よかった。
Ah,
これ
Leah,
本当に心配で。
you're feeling better. I'm
何かあったん
so
ですか？
glad. I was really worried. Did something happen? I tried to avoid Nayuta, who started jumping all over me and answered as vaguely as I
い
could.
ろいろあるのよ。
Girls are
女
very
の子には。
girls are very complex.
いろいろ
Complex?
ああ、そういうことか。だったら最初から言って。2日目が一番辛いらしいな。今日か。
You know what? It's fair. It's fair. With that sentence, I can see why he would mistake this for that, and I can't get mad at him for that. Because it wasn't like he's like, I bet she is. It's her when you say girls are complex, it can, yeah. I usually say when I've started Shark Week to my coworkers, it's usually like, I'm a woman today. And they're like, wait, what? It's like, I've become a woman. So that's what it is. You should have said something sooner. I heard the second day is the worst. How you holding up the second day?
デリカシーのない言い方やめて、タイガ。
You're not one for subtlety, are you, Taiga?
でも、小鳥ちゃん、僕だけにはこっそり教えてくれたらよかったのに。
But you know, Leah, you could have told me in
体の
private.
温まるジンジャーティー。
I'll get you some ginger tea to warm you up. To warm me up.
恥ずかしがることはないさ。女性の神秘とも呼べるものなんだからね。
Ichiya,
俺の添い寝で痛みを和らげてあげ
I
よう。
need you to go so far away right now, Ichiya. Everyone else is fine. I don't like you. I don't like you. No need to be shy. It's one of life's glorious feminine mysteries. You know what would ease. It's not even a mystery. There's science. Have you ever read a book? This is not a mystery. It's ovulation. It's a whole thing. Oh god, you know what ease your pain? Letting me sleep beside you. That is not feminine pain.
ねえ、何の話ですか？俺にも教えてくださいよ。
What are you guys talking about? Tell me. Oh, he's so baby.
だからお嬢は今日。
It's her time of the month.
ちょっと何勘違いしてるのよ。
Hold on, you've got the wrong idea. Flustered, I looked over at Kasuga. He nodded slightly and took a step forward.
皆様、デリカシーのない会話はお控えください。もし続ける場合は、それ相応のお覚悟を。
Gentlemen, please refrain from such an insensitive discussion. If you wish to continue, then please be more appropriate. Kasuga smiled cheerfully at them, which stopped all of them in their tracks.
お嬢様はナイーブなお年頃です。発言には十分お気をつけください。よろしいですね。
Miss Leah is a pure-hearted young woman. Please take the utmost care in how you speak to her. Do I make myself clear?
そうだね。確かにナイーブな話題だったよ。
Right, you're right.
すまない。
It's certainly a sensitive subject, sorry.
俺も。ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry to the one who didn't even know what the conversation was.
え？これ怒られること？僕彼女の体を心配しただけなのに。
What, is this really something to get worked up about? I was just concerned about her physical health.
シオンの言う通りだぜ。つか春日、お前過保護すぎ。
Shion's right, Kasuga, bro. You gotta tone down the overprotectiveness. I mean, minus the guy saying, how about I sleep next to you? That one is inappropriate. Kasuga's smile grew wider as Shion and Taiga frowned.
お嬢様の専属執事として当然ですが。
It's only natural considering I am Miss Leah's personal butler. Anything else, gentlemen?
あっそ。
Whatever. I smiled to myself seeing Kasuga take all 4 suitors down a peg. Satisfied with what he did, I briskly turned away from them.
本当に困った人たち。付き合いきれないわ。
You're also
行くわよ、
troublesome.
カスガ。
I've had enough. Let's go, Kasuga.
はい、
Yes,
お嬢様。
yes, Miss Leah.
言っちゃった。お嬢さんの不調って？
She left, guys. What's wrong with Leah?
いやだからナユタ、それは
No, Nayuta, like...
だからあれだろ、ほら。
Bro, ain't it obvious she...
タイガ、言いつけとくね、執事君に。
Careful, Taiga. I'll tell Jeeves on you.
なんだったんだろうな、原因。
Yeah, geez. I wonder what was wrong. Air tank. Everything was wrong. Clear. See, this is me pressing, like, this feels like this is the right button to press to go to that one, but it goes all the way back to the beginning. And then down and over and up is how I had to get here. That just feels wrong. Tsumugi's appraisal. Actually, wait. This has an arrow pointing down. Why can't I do... Just feel like I should be able to do that. Hear me out. Alright, we're on the next one. How many more we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, but 2 of them, I assume those little ones are just shorter stories since we just did one in under 10 minutes.
バーベキューが始まっ
I
た
lied,
途
that
端
was 30 minutes.
に犬が侵入してナユタくんが大暴れ。
And the moment the barbecue actually began, a dog burst in. Nayuta just had to go on chase
イチヤ
after
さ
it.
んは犬の前に飛び出すし、タイガさんはコンロを蹴り飛ばすし、シオンさんは炎の前でものんびりしてて。
Ichiya tried to jump in front of the dog and ran over. Taiga kicked the grill, sending hot coal flying everywhere. Shion stood around doing that. You didn't even know. Shion threw oil on the grill.
本当に大変な一日だったわ。やっぱり彼らは変な人たちよ。
It was a disaster of a day, an utter disaster. There can't possibly be a shred of sanity between them. I let out a sigh, having finally concluded the harrowing tale of the great barbecue debacle.
でもお怪我がなくて一安心ですわ。ところで
Personally, I'm glad to hear that no one was hurt. And by the way,
名前呼びにステップアップしましたのね。それはいつ、どこで、何がきっかけですの？やはりロマンスはイベントが命ですわね。
so you're on a first name basis with them now? Ooh, when did that happen? How? Who initiated it? Every good romance needs some juicy events. The sudden glint in Tsumugi's eyes made me shiver.
違うの。そういうのじゃないってば。これは彼らが勝手に。
It's not what you think at all. I didn't want to, but the 4 of them insisted and I...
それで三森さんは庭の片付け、イスルギさんと八神さんはすすの掃除、眉住さんは休憩。春日も大変だったわね。
had to clear the yard while Yagami and Ishirugi focused on soot stains and Miyuzumi took a break. Poor Kasuga must have been so busy.
鬼の形相はおっかなかったな。つうかその呼び方、堅苦しくねえか？
I'll admit that man can be a tyrant when he wants to be, but forget that. Why do you have to be so formal?
俺たちの愛も深まってきたことだし、フ ファーストネームで呼び合うにはちょうどいい頃合いかもしれないな。
After what we've been through together, I'd say that the two of us are way closer. I think our love deepens enough to call each other by the first name.
愛なんて1ミリも深まってないし、呼び方を変える気も全くないから。
There is no love between us. I can't grow deeper. It can't grow deeper. I've no desire to act familiar with you.
照れてる君の横顔も可愛いよ。
You look so cute when you're blushing. Oh no. Oh, the lights are doing this thing again where it's turning red. I need to change my ceiling lights is what's happening. My ceiling lights have like a... That's the best I can do. They have like an orange tint to them, so it makes the room change colors. I've messed with the camera so many times.
僕も小鳥ちゃんに名前で呼んでもらえたら嬉しいな。ね、シオンって呼んでみて。
I'd love it if you'd call me by my name, Leah. Go on, say Shion. It's quite simple.
あ、シオンさんずるい。
No,
で
very
もお嬢さんに
Shion.
名前で呼んでほしい。
I want Leah to call me by my first name too.
誰のことも名前で呼ぶなんて言ってないでしょ。今のままでも不便はないもの。
I never agreed to call any of you by your first names, and I see no need to start doing so. That's the way things are now works perfectly well.
まあそういうのって一緒にバーベキューした仲だろ。
Come on, don't be that way. We've all bonded over the barbecue, right? Wink, wink. No, we did not, actually. I wanted to set you all on fire that day.
あれでバーベキューしたって言えるの？
I wouldn't design to call that disaster a barbecue.
俺、お嬢さんに名前で呼ばれたら地球の裏側からでも飛んできます。だからお願いします。
If you call me by my first name, Leah, I'll come flying right to you, even if I'm on the other side of the world.
さあ、恥ずかしがらずに。
Come on, there's no need to be so shy about it.
わかったわよ。
Okay, okay, sheesh. I finally caved, trying to squirm away from Mitsumori, who oh so casually leaned into my personal space. I had to admit their persistence impressed me, not positively, of course. Reluctantly, I turned to face Mitsumori. He subtly shifted to try and show off his best angle, which irked me more, but I ignored that for the moment.
三森さんは一夜さん。
Ichimori-san? Ichiya?
ああ、なんて甘い響きだろう。まるで新婚さんのようだね。
Your voice graces my name with a sweet ring. It's as if we're newlyweds already. I pretended not to see his cheesy wink. Next, I turned to face Mayuzumi, who was already smiling beautifully. It's so true.
眉住さんはシオンさん。
Mayuzumi? Shion?
小鳥ちゃんに名前で呼ばれるのって新鮮。いっぱい呼んでいいからね。
It's a lovely and novel feeling to hear you call me by my first name, Leah. Feel free to say it as often as you like. I imagined it would be less often than he would like. Now I turned to Ishirugi, who was
イ
smirking.
スルギさんはタイガさん。
Taiga.
めんどくせえ。3も取っちまえよ。
Come on, babe. Go all the way. Call me Tai.
絶対嫌。
No. Cutesy nicknames were out of the question. That was a line. Finally, I turned to Yagami. He stared intently, quivering ever so slightly, like a border collie that never knew it was about to get a treat.
八神さんは那由他くん。
Yagami-san. Nayuta. Given Nayuta's childish mannerisms and boundless energy, I felt like I was naming a pet rather than a person. Yagami, true to form, didn't notice my hesitation. He was too busy staring rapturously at the ceiling.
お嬢さんに名前で呼んでもらっちゃった。うわー、やったー
Leah called me by my first name. Woohoo! Mom, Dad, thank you for giving me life. His overblown reaction didn't help me feel any less embarrassed about the whole name fiasco. All I could do was sit there, stewing in embarrassment and frustration while they all crowed with joy.
つまり彼らに押し切られただけ。
So basically they forced my
押し切る
hand.
いつものやり口よ。
Like always, all four of them ganged up on me. I had no choice. I made no effort to hide my annoyance, but Tsumugi looked as pleased as a cat with a freshly caught
ロマン
mouse.
スの階段1段目はクリア。そろそろ頃合いですわね。
Wonderful. You've cleared the first stage of a proper romance. It may be about time then.
何が？
Time for what?
花婿候補の品定めですわ。
To appraise your suitors, of course.
ロマンスの階段2段目はあなたにふさわしいお相手選び。そうとなれば黙ってはいられません。
Romance stage 2 is choosing your suitor that would make an appropriate match, and I should have hoped that you don't expect me to take a backseat because I won't.
黙ってられないって何？
A backseat to what?
自他ともに認めるあなたの親友である私が花婿候補の皆さんを見極めて差し上げますわ。
As the
小
one
姑の
person
名にかけて。
everyone acknowledges as your best friend, I will do you the favor of judging your suitors as a proper in-law
と
should.
いうわけで週末お邪魔いたしますので。
Accordingly, I'll visit you this weekend, okay? Sugami in the same room as them. A part of me recognized that this was probably a bad idea, but as Sugami invited herself to invade or visit on the weekend, I just quietly nodded along.
もうすぐつむぎ来
Save
ちゃ
me,
う。
Sumugi.
カスが
Don't
お茶の用意はできてるわよね。
think she will. She's a dojinshi. Oh gosh, dojinshi? What's that called? She likes to make fan comics. I don't think she's gonna be on her side. She's loving this. Tsumugi, will you be here any minute? Kasuga, is the tea prepared?
ええ。カノ様がお好みの茶葉をご用意しておりますよ。
Yes, miss. I've already set out Miss Kano's preferred blend.
クッションもスリッパも出したし。あとは
Make certain there's an extra chair for her, set out a pair of slippers too, and then I finished doiling out instructions, then sighed and turned to the four men lounging on the
あな
couches.
たたち
As for you lot,
俺らか？
what us?
他にいないでしょ。今日は私の友達が来るんだから変なこと言ったりやったり絶対しないで。
Who else would I be talking to? My friend is coming for a visit today. Make absolutely certain you do nothing, I mean nothing weird to her.
変なこと？
Weird? Weird how?
つむぎが見たがってた本出し忘れてたわ。早くしないと。
Oh, that's right. I was going to show Tsumugi a book I found. I best go get it right away. Turning my back on them, I went back to prepare for Sugami's arrival. I was putting a few more things in order in my room when I paused, struck by a sudden sense of unease. Was it really wise to allow Tsumugi to meet the four of them? There was no telling what that pack would do, and Tsumugi had a far more intense personality than one would guess simply from looking at her. That wasn't a bad idea. This wasn't a bad idea, was it? It's too late to think about it now. Tsumugi was already on her way over, and besides, I was honestly overjoyed that she was coming for a visit. There was little better way to spend a weekend than sipping tea and chatting while nibbling on sweets. I had to make sure everything was perfect. I had to, even though it was utterly unlikely the day would segue, yeah, got it, into a nice uneventful weekend. But is Tsumugi spending the night? Like, is she just here?
小鳥ちゃん張り切ってるね。朝からずっとそわそわしてる。
Leah's so excited. She's been puttering about since first thing this
あの
morning.
年頃の女の子は友人とのおしゃべりが一番楽しいものなのさ。時間を忘れて語り合えるのが嬉しいんだろう。
For girls her age, gossiping with a friend is a favored pastime. She's probably happy that she'll get to spend the whole day chatting. Yeah, girls her age. Think about guys her age. No, you can't because it's been too long? Yeah, that's what I thought.
そうなんですか？ お嬢さんが時間を忘れておしゃべりするお友達ってどんな人なんだろう。
All day? There's actually a person out there who Leah would be happy to talk with for hours and hours. I wonder what she's like.
つっても毎日学校で会ってんだろ。家に来るくらいではしゃぎすぎじゃねえ。
Yeah, but doesn't she see this chick at school every day? What's all the fuss with her coming over here for?
お嬢様にとってそれほど大切なご友人だということですよ。
The bustle is simply a sign of how precious a friend Miss Kano is to her.
人と接することが苦手なお嬢様が唯一プライベートでも一緒に過ごしたいと思われるご親友。
Normally, Miss Leah avoids
それがカノ様です。
interpersonal contact, but she gladly spends private time with Miss Kano. That's how close the two of them are.
あのお嬢がそこまで大事にしてるたちか。
Huh.
興味湧くな。
A pal the lady thinks that highly of. Now I'm curious. A pal.
ああ、それにお嬢さんの大切な人は俺にとっても大切な人だからね。
If she's
彼女を存分にもてなさなければいけないな。
You're talking too much, Ichiya. Be quiet. I'm gonna cross my legs and possibly kick the desk as I usually do. If she is important to Leah, then she's undoubtedly important to me. We'll have to make sure that she feels welcome and comfortable here.
俺も頑張っておもてなしします。ジュースついだり、お菓子準備したり、肩たたきしたり、昼寝の用意したり。
I'm gonna do my best to make her feel welcome too. I'll pour her drinks, get her snacks, massage her shoulders, even set out blankets for a midday nap.
お友達に怖がられないようにね、ナユタ。でも、それなら僕も何かお手伝いするよ。
Nayuta, don't go overboard and frighten the
彼
poor
女たち
lady.
のお話し相手がいいかな。
I'll do my personal best to assist as well. Do you think she'd like a conversation partner?
そのような余裕があれば良いのですが。
Provided you have the luxury of choice.
どういうこと？
What do you mean?
一応忠告しておきます。カノ様を決して侮ってはいけません。
Gentlemen, consider this a warning.
足元を
Underestimate
救われますよ。
Miss Kano at your peril. Take her lightly and she'll chew you up. Oh. I just finished putting the last few things in order when my phone vibrated in my pocket. I will arrive shortly. I am very much looking forward to meeting everyone. For some reason, I could see Tsumugi grinning as she typed the message I was reading. No, it would be fine. I ignored my growing unease and went to meet her at the door. Good day, Madam Leah. As Tsumugi stepped out of a modest limousine, I couldn't help but grimace. She was not wearing her usual school attire. Oh no, she was in something entirely different. She's beautiful. A lavishly designed and exceptionally frill black gothic Lolita dress complete with black lace parasol.
相変わらずね。
She's my favorite person. She is serving. She's got spiders for earrings. Like, girl, you look great. This is the Otome main character I need. I should have expected as much.
ゴスロリは私のアイデンティティですもの。
Indeed, I am at heart a gothic Lolita after all. Tsumugi smiled innocently and twirled her parasol.
例の皆さんはお家の中に？
Now I presume the gentlemen of the hour are inside.
ええ、リビングにいるわ。
Yes, they ought to be waiting in the living room.
楽しみですわ。
I can hardly contain myself. Her cute smile sharpened ever so slightly, not that I was about to give voice to my observation. Fighting back my ballooning dread, I slowly opened the door to the foyer.
カノ様、ようこそいらっしゃいました。
Welcome, Miss Kano. It is lovely to see you.
春日さん、お邪魔いたしますわね。
Kasuga, I'm terribly sorry for the intrusion. Tsumugi politely greeted Kasuga and then turned to the four men, her shark-like smile still in place.
はじめまして、加野紬と申します。以後、お見知りおきを。
It's a pleasure to meet you, gentlemen. I am Tsumugi Kano. I hope you'll do me the honor of remembering me.
イスルギタイガだ。すげえ服だな。
Taiga Isuguri. That's some outfit you've got on there.
お褒めいただき光栄ですわ。
Why, thank you. What a lovely compliment.
俺八神那由他です。お姫様みたいな服ですね。
I'm not Nayuta Yagami, and you look like a princess.
八神さん、面白い方ですのね。
Oh, thank you. You're an interesting person, Yagami.
はじめまして、紬さん。俺の名前は三森一也。
Please look so done with him. It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Tsumugi. My name is Ichiya Mitsumori.
まるであつらえたように似合っているね。君に着てもらえてドレスも幸せだろう。
I hate him.
さすがお嬢さんの心の友だ。
That dress suits you as if it was made for you alone. I'm sure it's honored to be worn by someone as lovely as you. I expected nothing less from Leah's closest
まる
friend.
で漫画に出てきそうな褒め言葉。ありがとうございます。
Thank you. It must have been time consuming to go to the bookstore and fish those compliments from manga.
つむぎちゃん、こんにちは。僕は眉住シオン。そのゴシックロリータ、凝ったデザインだね。
Hello,
特にネ
Sukumi.
ックラインとか。
I'm Shion. Mayuzumi, I must say, your gothic Lolita dress is quite elaborately designed, particularly about the decolletage.
まあ、ゴスロリをご存知ですのね。
Oh my, you're familiar with the gothic lolly
フ
styles?
ランスにも熱狂的な愛好家がいたから、ゴスロリ以外のロリータファッションも人気があるみたいだしね。
There are quite a few passionate fans of the fashion in France. Indeed, I hear many Lolita styles besides just the gothic are popular.
そうですのよ。ゴスロリだけでなく、アマロリやクラロリなど、ロリータの魅力はまさに天井知らず。
Yes, yes, there's so many styles. Gothic Lolita, sweet Lolita, classic Lolita. Oh, the charm of Lolita fashions are endless, simply
です
endless.
私はやはり甘辛が絶妙なハーモニーを奏でるゴスロリに耐え難い魅力を感じずには。
But as for me, I have a weakness for the exquisite balance of naughty and nice that defines the Gothic style and elevates it above any other Lolita.
紬、今はそこまで。
Sugami, I think that's enough of that for
あ
now.
ら、私ったら。
Oh goodness, I'm so sorry, I got carried away. Tsumugi coyly put her hand over her mouth and giggled.
ではお嬢さん方、ソファーへどうぞ。おいしい紅茶と甘いお菓子で優雅なティーパーティーを始めよう。
Please leave. Well then, ladies, if you would please have a seat. We've fragrant tea and delicious sweets. So what we say, we have a lovely tea party. He punctuated his offer with his trademark wink. Of course, I sighed in exasperation and stole a quick glance at Tsumugi beside me. She wore her irritation on her face. I was surprised she didn't exclaim at how terrible Ichiya sounded. Good. Now nobody's
紬
falling for
は
it.
華道宗家の一人娘で、今から家を継ぐことも決まってるのよ。
Tsumugi was born into a bloodline of master flower arrangers. She is the family's sole heir. I finally gave Tsumugi her overdue proper introduction as we sat on the sofa. She smiled and shook her head.
家を継ぐといえば聞こえはいいですけれど、実際は地味な仕事がほとんどですのよ。
Being a sole heir sounds impressive and dramatic, but truthfully, my life is filled with unexcited duties.
そうなると紬さんは次期家元ということだろう。華道のカノ流は世界的に有名だと聞いたことがあるよ。
Still, it means that one day you'll be the headmistress of the family, right? The Kano school of Ikebana is famous in the world of flower arranging, I hear.
世界紬さん、すごいんですね。
Wow, she's world famous? Wow, Sukami, I didn't know you were that amazing.
さすがはお嬢のダチって感じだな。
No surprise she's friends with someone like you, babe.
僕はカノ流の華道展覧会、パリで見たよ。生けられた花に動きがあって綺麗だった。
I had the privilege of seeing a Kano school Ikebana exhibit in Paris. The flower's vibrancy was unreal.
まあ、 最高の褒め言葉ですわ。お花にご興味がありましたらぜひごひいきに。
My, what a wonderful compliment. If you're interested in flowers, it'd be an honor if you'd view our exhibits again. Tsumugi smiled elegantly, and Shion returned it with a polite, beautiful smile of his own.
さすがはあのプロポーズをなさった方々ですわね。皆さん、とても個性的ですわ。
I could expect no less of a gentleman who proposed in such a splashy fashion. All of you have such unique personalities.
え
Huh?
あれ気づいてなかったの？つむぎちゃん、小鳥ちゃんのすぐ隣にいたじゃない。
What, didn't you notice? Tsumugi was standing right next to Leah that day.
あ、てっきり初対面かと。あの時はお嬢さんの輝きに目を奪われてしまっ。
Really? And here I thought this was our first time we'd met. I must have been more enraptured than I thought by the glitter of Leah's eyes.
全然気づかなかった。恥ずかしいな。
Wow, I didn't notice you there at all. Boy, I'm sorry. And now I'm all
悪
embarrassed.
い。俺も気づかなかった。
Sorry, we were kind of preoccupied at the time.
あれだけ人が集まっていればそれも当然です。良きものを見せていただきましたわ。
Oh, I'm not surprised. Now, with how many people had gathered there, giggles, I'm glad I had the chance to watch such a spectacle. It livened up my day.
それに彼女からいろいろと事情は伺ってますのよ。共同生活の赤裸々話や皆さんの個性豊かな謎行動などな
I've
ど。
since heard so much about you all, and about the friction you generated together, about the unique and often inexplicable things you've all done, and more.
ですから皆さんとお話しできるのを心の底から楽しみにしてましたの。
I've been ever so excited for the opportunity to meet you all in person. Secure in Tsumugi's sincere smile, Nayuta leaned forward, fidgeting with barely restrained curiosity.
じゃあ、もしかして俺のこととかも
Did
何か聞いて
she,
るんですか？
did she maybe tell you about me? What kind of stuff did she, say?
もちろん俺のこともだよね。俺が作る料理のことや毎朝の挨拶、彼女から俺への思いなども含めて。
Surely she mentioned me, right? About how delicious my cooking is and how I greet her with care every morning. Did she happen to say how she feels about me? Both men were extremely interested, and not even trying to hide it, Tsumugi gave them a conspiratorial smile.
もちのろんですわ。
Oh, you can bet your names came up once or twice.
ちょっとつむぎ。
Tsumugi. Panicking, I tried to stop her, but she ignored
当
me.
然あなた方のことも伺ってますわよ。イスルギさん、まゆずみさん。
I've heard so much about you two of you, as well as Mr. Isurigi and Mr. Mayuzumi. Sayo, I got here. Why is this already an Hiro manga? It is not. She's just a gothic lolly, that's all. That's just what she does for her pastime. It's so incorrect. Tsumugi, no! She's just drowning.
どうせ文句ばっか言ってたんだろ。うるせえとか騒がしいとか。ここでも同じこと言ってんじゃねえか。
Nothing but complaints, right? About how loud we are, how annoying. She lets us know that herself every day.
事実だもの。
But it's true. I glared over at Taiga, which he pointedly ignored. Shion spoke up next. He was clearly enjoying himself.
それで彼女から聞いてた話と本物の僕たちどこか違った？
Oh, Shion, you're so comfortable. Now that you've met us in person, how do we compare to the stories you've heard? What, if anything, is different?
そうですわね。
An excellent question. Tsumugi's tone was pensive. She folded her hands in her lap and with very deliberate movements.
ここは一つ皆さんからお話しいただけません？
Before I answer, may I ask you gentlemen a question of my own first?
彼女の第一印象と一緒に暮らしている今の印象、私とても興味がありますの。
What was your first impression of her? And now that you're living with her, how has your impression changed? I'm highly curious about what you think.
つむぎ、いい加減に。
Tsumugi, I really think we...
何か問題でも？
Is there a problem? The chill in Tsumugi's smile stopped me in my tracks, and I quietly retract my statement. She is in full-on insufferable busybody in-law mode. Satisfied, she nodded and turned back to the
で
boys.
はまず、
Aw,
三森さ
man.
ん、どうぞ。
If I could ask you that first, Mr. Mitsumori. I
ト
hate
ップ
him.
バッターで彼女を語ることになるとはね。
I hate him so
いいだろう。
much. He's killing me. Aha, to think I'd get to be first up onto the plate. Sure thing, I'm always happy to talk about her. Now where do I begin? Ichiya stroked his chin and struck a pose.
彼女の第一印象はクールな孤高の美少女。そして今もその印象はあまり変わらない。すべてがパーフェクト。すべてが完璧。
My first impression was that she was a cool and aloof beauty, an ice queen. That's still what I think, honestly. She is a perfection incarnate.
俺の花嫁になるべくして生まれてきた何もかもが愛おしいお姫様だよ。
She's a precious princess, an irreplaceable treasure, and she was born to be my bride. I'm sure of it. You are 9 years older than she is, and she is 17, Ichiya.
たくさん喋られた割に内容がペラペラですわね。具体性のかけらもなくて驚きでした。
My, for all the words that came out of your mouth, I'm shocked at how very useless they were. There wasn't a single point of value in that whole spiel.
いや
But I...
では次の方、イスルギさん。
Mr. Ishurigi? When Tsumugi looked over at Taiga, he made an exasperated show of rolling his
生意
eyes.
気そうなお嬢だと思ったけどな。話してみたら想像以上だったぜ。
I thought she was a stuck-up rich girl. Now that we've talked, I see I was wrong. She's worse than that. I can't believe
イ
him.
スルギさんもまだまだですわね。彼女の可愛いポイントはそこですのに。もっとちゃんと見ませんと損ですわよ。
Oh, Mr. Isugi, you've so much yet to learn. Her attitude is one of her cutest attributes. You'll miss out on so much if you don't pay closer attention. What? Miss out?
まゆずみさんはどうです？
And what of you, Mr. Mayuzumi? Shion smiled and tilted his head,
う
thinking,
ん。可愛い子だなって思ったよ。それに、この子は僕を必要としてるかもって。
I thought she was an adorable girl and that perhaps she might require my company.
今も可愛いって思う。それは出会った頃よりもね。それにやっぱり、彼女の隣が僕には似合う。
I still think she's quite adorable, even more so than when we first met, and I know for certain that if I had her, she'd be a perfect complement to my beauty. Tsumugi grimaced momentarily, shocked into silence by Shion's bold proclamation. After a moment,
可
she
愛い
said,
ことには同意しますわ。
I agree with you on the cute part. That's it.
じゃあ最後は俺ですね。
Ooh, last up is me, right? Naruto raised his hand, wiggling in his seat. Tsumugi simply nodded at
俺のお
him.
嬢さんの第一印象はすっごい綺麗でキラキラって感じでいっぱい叱ってくれてギュッてかかとで
Nayuta, it is not a good look for you, my guy. My first impression of Leah was that she was super beautiful and pretty and sparkly and stuff, and I hoped she'd scold me a lot and grind me under her heel.
かかと？
Grind you under her.
でも思ったより叱られないんです。きっとまだ俺に遠慮してるんですね。でも俺いつでも足待ってますから。
He's too freaky for them. Yeah, he doesn't really fit in. He looks like this, and he's like, step on me, and I'm like, no. She doesn't scold me nearly as much as I had hoped she would. I bet she's still just shy, though. I'm ready to squirm under her heel at a moment's
あ
notice.
なた、やばい方ですのね。
I see. You're quite unhinged. Having heard all four answers, Tsumugi crossed her arms, hummed in thought.
皆さん、まだまだ上辺だけをなぞった印象をお持ちのようですわね。
Gentlemen, your impressions are shockingly superficial. You've barely begun to even scratch the surface. All four men dropped their gaze. Some even had the grace to look abashed. None of them said a word.
でも彼女の内面を理解することが難しいのは私もよく知っています。友人になるのには苦労しましたもの。
However, I'm well aware of how difficult it is to truly understand her. You wouldn't believe the effort it took me to actually befriend her.
理解とか苦労って。
Difficult to understand?
繊細で照れ屋で可愛いという意味ですわよ。
Oh, I mean how you're actually a shy, sensitive, and terribly adorable person under all your layers.
何よそれ。
What is that supposed to mean?
そういうところですわ。キュッですわ。
See? There? Like that. Oh, be still my heart. Oh my god.
記憶力はいい方なの。
You don't have a good memory. That's why I have to save so much. That's why they gave me 100 saves.
もう、紬ったら。
Tsumugi!
お嬢、いつもと違くねえか？ツンツンしてねえっつうか。
Hey guys, is it me or is that lady acting real different? She's not as frosty as usual.
羊くんといる時ともちょっと雰囲気が違うよね。
I noticed it too. She's even a bit different than when she's with that butler of hers.
ああ、なんというか愛らしさが増している。
How am I supposed to like this guy? Like, who would like this guy that is acting so ridiculous constantly? It's like, oh, so beautiful. Like, he gives off the vibes of the person that you, like, see on a show, one episode out, like, one time in every episode, he says something weird, and then, like, the person punches him, and he, like, flies off screen. Like, he does not get the vibe of the person you end up with. He does not. You're right. I can see her sweet beauty radiating even more strongly than before.
ツンツンもいいですけど。いいな。
Not that I mind when she's all frosty and mean, but this is nice too. Really nice.
これがお嬢のデレ顔か。
Now we know how she is when she's blushy and stuff.
で、
Blushy? The four of them muttered amongst themselves. Then Ichiya and Nayuta's eyes gleamed. Sid ah man, can't say that word ever. Sid led up unto Tsumugi, who was still smiling pleasantly. I made a friggin' clip of me not being able to say that word before. Anyways.
はいはいはい。俺もデレの顔見せてほしいです。どうしたら見せてもらえるんですか？
Excuse me, hi. I want to see more blushy stuff from Leah. What do I have to do to get her to act like this more often? Could you teach me?
ああ、ぜひ俺にもそのテクニックを、彼女の心を手に入れる秘策を。
I'd love to know the technique you used. Too, what stratagem should I employ to win her heart?
あ、僕も教えてほしいかな。何かの役に立つかもしれないし。
I wouldn't mind hearing about it either. I suppose it might prove useful at some point.
まあまあまあ。
My,
どうしましょう。
my. However shall I respond to these pleas? Tsumugi made a dramatic show of sounding uncertain and then turned to me, a bright smile on her
や
face.
めてよ。
Don't you dare.
ふふふふ。
紬ってば。
Tsumugi. I shot a glare at Tsumugi, which she ignored, seeing that even Taiga decided to get in on the act. He leaned forward, a smile on his face.
お嬢の弱点ってことか。なら興味あるな。
So we're talking about the lady's weak point, eh? I might be interested in that. Tsumugi's grin only grew deeper.
そうですわね。ノーヒントで彼女の心を射止めようとすると、数十年はかかるかもしれませんし。
Decisions. I speak from experience when I say I could take years, decades even, to capture her heart without the aid of my advice.
アドバイスくらいなら。
I might be convinced to part with some suggestions. The four men grinned at each other like fools, only for Tsumugi to promptly dash their hopes.
ただし、
But
私との勝負に勝てばのお話ですが。
only if you beat me in a game first.
勝負。
A game? I stared at her in shock. Taiga grinned widen.
なんだ、賭けってか。面白い、その話。
So you want to make a bet, huh? Interesting. Count me in.
当然俺も参戦させてもらうよ。お嬢さん、もうすぐ心の鍵を開けてあげるからね。
I just wish they would have kicked you out of this house. You can include me too, of course. Don't worry, Leah. I'll soon win the key to the lock that has shuttered your heart.
僕もやるよ。小鳥ちゃんのこと知りたいしね。
I suppose I might participate as well. I'm quite curious to learn more about you, Leah.
はいはい、俺もやります。テニスでもサッカーでもバスケでも何でもやります。
I want to play too. What kind of game is it going to be? Tennis, soccer, basketball, fetch? I'll play anything.
では手軽なトランプにいたしましょう。あなたもぜひご一緒にいかが？
Let's begin with a few simple card games. Would you care to join us, Leah? Tsumugi's smile was the picture of innocence. I sighed and shook my
結
head.
構よ。
No, thank you.
なんだよ、じゃあ。ずいぶん逃げ腰じゃねえか。
Come on, babe. Quit being so chicken. Taiga needling didn't bother me. They were all about to learn a hard lesson about Tsumugi. I declined for a reason. A very good reason.
では肩慣らしにババ抜きから。手札のご用意はよろしいですか？
Well then, why don't we warm up with a round or two of Old Maid? Does everyone have their cards? Everyone nodded. And so the card game battle began. And there were no survivors.
俺の手札は残り2枚。この勝負、もらったよ。
I've only got 2 cards left. I got this round in the bag.
一夜、格好つけて負けたら恥ずかしいよ。僕も同じ2枚だし。
Ichiya, it's only gonna make you look more pathetic when you lose after boasting like that. I only have 2 cards left too, you know?
Ichiya もシオンも気ぃつけろよ。こういうのは余裕こいたやつからぶっ倒れてくもんなんだよ。
The both of you had better watch it. In the brutal world of Old Maid, the cockiest dudes are the first to lose their shirts.
俺も負けませんから。
I'm gonna try to win too. Are they gonna lose their shirts? At this point, Tsumugi held 15 cards. Anyone would presume she was losing. But I knew better. I could see her little smirk growing as she watched the 4 men bickering amongst themselves.
なぜ終わらない？
Why isn't this over?
そろそろ上がりたいんだけど、僕。
I'd like to get back to my life sometime soon, thanks.
カードが持ちきれない。
I can't hold all these cards.
はい。ではババ抜き勝負は私の勝利ですわね。
There! Well, it seems I win this first round of Old Maid. Tsumugi smiled and played her last card. I could almost see the question marks orbiting the men's head. They had every right to be confused. They hadn't even considered her a threat, but then she burst ahead and ran to the front of the pack. She discarded her cards one after another, and before they knew it, she had declared herself victory. The reality of their loss was sinking in very slowly.
マジかよ。
You're kidding me.
何が起こったんだ？
What just happened?
なんで俺カードこんなに？
When did I get so many cards? Are they playing Old Maid? Because I thought there was only one loser in Old Maid and everybody else wins. Has it been that long? I guess if you're the first one to not have cards anymore, you're like the first winner, but like the game doesn't end until someone's declared Old Maid. I could only sigh at their confusion. This is why I declined to play. Tsumugi was insanely good at playing cards. Not only that, she loved nothing more than to utterly crush her opponents. I know how good she is, so when she offered to tell them about me if they won, I wasn't too concerned.
十分でしょ。早く片付け。
Have you had enough? Let's clean up and...
やってくれるじゃねえか。こっから本番だぜ。
Not bad, not bad at all. I think I might have to get serious.
そうだね、タイガ。成功に試練はつきものだ。俺は立ち向かう。紬さんという壁に。
Yeah, you and me both, Taiga. Success comes to those who persevere. I won't give up. I'll keep trying until I surpass you, Tsumugi.
確かにこのまま終わるのはち ちょっと違うかな。
Indeed, this doesn't seem the right time to end things.
俺今度は負けませんから。
I'm not gonna lose again. Idiots. Seeing all four of them raring to go, Tsumugi smiled and gave them a little nod. Of
構いま
course.
せんわよ。
Of course.
気がお済みになるまでお相手いたしますわ。
I'll gladly play as many times as you would like. And so they challenged her again and again and again. Slam, bluff, Napoleon, sevens, concentration.
嘘だろ。こんなやつベガスでも見たことねえ。
This can't be right. I've never come across anyone this good, not even in Vegas. Taiga slumped in defeat. He couldn't even touch Tsumugi at poker, blackjack, his two best games.
さあ、次は何で遊びましょうか。それとも、もう終わりですの？
What shall we play next, or has everyone had enough for now?
では、アドバイスはこのまま秘密ということで。残念ですわ。
Then I guess my advice will stay a secret for the time being. Oh, how unfortunate.
ですが、私も鬼ではありません。皆さんのガッツに敬意を表して、仲良くなるヒントくらいは差し上げますわ。
Hi, Sweezy. However, I am not entirely evil. As a sign of my respect for your determination, I will give you a hint of how to earn a sliver of her friendship. Tsumugi leaned forward and the others quickly followed
嘘を
suit.
つかず、ありのままの自分を見せること。
Do not lie, do not put on airs, and be your true and honest self around her.
それができなければ、彼女の心を手に入れることは絶対にできません。
If you can't do that, then you'll never earn her heart. Is she looking right at Ichiya right now? As she says, ever. All four of them gulped at the cold finality in Tsumugi's voice.
私はロマンスが訪れることを心から祈っておりますのよ。ですから皆さんを敵とは思っておりません。
I pray from the bottom of my heart that romance will bloom. I honestly do, so I don't consider any of you my enemy. However,
万一彼女を傷つけるようなことがあれば、その時はねえ。
off the off chance that you should happen to hurt her, well, I didn't say what will happen, do I? Oh god, she was scaring me. Tsumugi smiled sweetly. The four men were too paralyzed by fear to even blink. That's my best friend.
あら、も
Oh
うこんな
my.
時間ですのね。
Look at the
私
time.
そろそろおいとまいたしますわ。
I'm afraid I must take my leave.
夕食食べていかないの？
Already? Aren't you going to stay for dinner? Tsumugi stood, shaking her head
ぜ
sadly.
ひご一緒させていただきたいのですが、ここだけの話、修羅場が近いんですの。
I'd love to if I could, but just between the two of us, I'm afraid there's some drama incoming. I think it's wiser to leave it at that,
そ
probably.
れなら外まで送りに行くわ。
Let me walk you to your car then.
いえ、ここで大丈夫ですわ。
No,
それよ
no.
りも
That's alright. I can manage to find my way instead. She leaned in closer and whispers in
皆
my
さ
ear.
んを脅しすぎたかもしれませんわ。彼らのフォローをお願いします。そこからまた新たなロマンスが。
I think I may have rattled them a little too much. Could you perhaps soothe them a bit? You may even plant the seeds of new romance if you do. Tsumugi!
それでは失礼いたします。皆さん、ごきげんよう。
Hang on. We have a new soundbite. I'm gonna play that soundbite really quick. Is it this one? It's gonna take a second to load because that's my computer.
皆さん、お疲れ様でした。
It's very similar to what she just said. I've been listening to it.
それでは失礼いたします。皆さん、ごきげんよう。
I was like, I've been listening to this because I've been making these sound bites. I must be on my way then. Have a lovely day, everyone. Tsumugi gave a polite wave and left the room. Kasuga silently followed in her wake. The moment she was out of the room, all four of the men heaved a sigh and slumped down in their seats.
すげえやつだな、お嬢のダチ。
Damn, babe, you got some incredible
なん
friends.
か最強って感じでした。
Yeah, it seemed like she was, I don't know, invincible?
もしかして今時の女子高生はみんなああなのか？
Don't tell me that's how all high school girls are like that. Oh gosh, don't tell me all high school girls are like that these days. I feel like I need to make the thing less transparent because like it's making me mess up. I messed up so much when she was talking.
つむぎちゃん。
Tsumugi was such an interesting girl. Listening to them talk amongst themselves about their impressions made me appreciate Tsumugi's strength. That means you're too old for her, my guy. Yeah, if you're like, dang, I didn't know it changed that much in the 9 years since I was in school. No matter how hard I tried, how hard I rebuffed them, I had barely seemed to make a dent on those four, but it was clear she had thoroughly exhausted them.
京女の恐ろしさってやつかね。紬の実家、京都なんだろ？なんでこっちに出てきてんだ？
They aren't lying when you say you gotta respect Kyoto women. I mean, she's from Kyoto, right? What's she doing up here in Tokyo?
どうしてもやりたいことがあるから、中学と高校だけは家を出て暮らしてるの。長期の休みは家業を手伝う約束なのよ。
She has a business she can do only in Tokyo, so she moved up here for school, starting in middle school. She goes back home to help over long holidays, though. Not that I will ever tell them that her business was cosplaying and otaku hobbies.
はあ、なるほど。お嬢と同じ箱入りかと思ったけど、意外としっかりしてんのね。
Gotcha. I figured she'd be some sheltered chick like you, babe. Seems she's got her head screwed on good and straight. What is that?
どういう意味？
What is that supposed to mean? I glared daggers in his direction, but as usual, they just seemed to bounce off him.
そういや、俺も一人暮らしは高校からだな。バイトしてた記憶しかねえけど。
Man, that takes me back, you know, I started living on my own in high school. Not that I got a job, mind you.
高校からってどうして？まさか家で？
What? From high school? Why ever for? Gosh, did you run away from home? Taiga burst out
ちょっ
laughing.
となんで笑うのよ？
What's so funny?
ああ、腹いて。なわけねえだろ。俺両親いねえし。
Man, now my gut hurts. How the hell could I run away from home, babe? I don't got any parents.
生まれてすぐくらいの頃に児童養護施設の前に捨てられてたんだと。だから実家っつったらその施設だな。
I was dumped in front of an orphanage soon after I was born. At least that's what I was told. The place is the only home I ever had. I was shocked, speechless at how nonchalant Taiga recounted his abandonment. How in the world could he be so calm about something like that? Being abandoned by one's own parents is no easy thing to accept, and yet he spoke about it so easily. Not sure what to say, I looked around at the other three hoping for some assistance, but they just looked back at me blankly as if this wasn't news to them at all.
なんでお嬢が驚いてんだよ。心情調査したんだろ？
What are you so shocked for? You said you did a background check on us.
でもそんなこと書いてなかった。
Yeah, but yours
なの？
didn't say anything about that. Is it true? All the report had said was of unknown origins. I have no clue what that actually meant.
嘘ついてどうすんだよ。隠してるわけでもタブーな話題でもねえし、施設生活は結構楽しかったしね。
Dude, why would it be? It's not like it's something taboo or anything. I'm not trying to hide it either. Hell, the orphanage I grew up was pretty cool. He smiled at me and it didn't look fake in the least. I didn't know what to say.
でも一人暮らしってお金かかりますよね。俺毎月補修代の請求がすごくって。
But living on your own can be real expensive. My monthly maintenance bill is so high.
補修代？俺が一人暮らしの時はそんなもの請求された覚えはないが。
Maintenance bills? I never get billed for anything like that when I was living on my own, at least not regularly.
僕の時もなかったよ。逆に家を貸してくれてた友人が 映画館とかブティックとか増設してたかな。
Shion, I never received such bills either. In fact, the friend who allowed me to use his home even had a home theater and a boutique installed for
そ
me.
れ家じゃねえだろ。
That's no regular home.
え？結構あるでしょ、そういう家。小鳥ちゃん？疲れちゃった？
So many homes have such amenities, it's fairly common. Leah, are you tired? More so by the second. Shion looked at me after noticing I hadn't said a word. I shook my head. A heavy lump had developed in my chest and I wasn't sure what it was. Apparently there was still a lot about these mins I didn't know about. Interesting. Today was very entertaining, thank
ご
you.
満足いただけて何よりでございます。
I'm glad to hear you're satisfied with your visit.
それで少しは牽制になりましたかしら。
Do you think I did enough to keep things in check for a little while?
ええ、間違いなく。お嬢様は素晴らしいご友人をお持ちになりましたね。
Yes, without a doubt, Miss Leah is blessed with extraordinary friends.
私は親友ですもの。彼女のためになるのでしたら何でもしますわ。
I am her best friend. After all, I'll gladly do anything in my power to help her.
春日さんも同じ気持ちですわよね。
As I'm sure you would too, right, Kasuga?
ええ、もちろんでございます。
Of course, miss.
それを聞けて安心しましたわ。それでは私はこれで。
Ominous.
ごきげんよう。
Ominous to say the least. I'm glad to hear that, Kasuga. Well then, I must be on my way. Have a lovely day. And then the car goes do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, Kasuga, what's with that face? Kasuga, what's with the face? Huh? Huh? What's with the face, Kasuga? Welcome to the level 1 board selection. Each suitor has their own barricade board from level 1 to level 3. Here you can decide which level 1 board you want to play through first. Okay. All 4 suitors must have their level 1 board cleared regardless of which gentleman you eventually decide to court. The board you choose here won't affect the game's ending. Okay. Let's see. Well, if it doesn't, okay, but does it affect whose route I end up on? That's the real question we have to ask here, right? Right? I want to be done with Ichiya. I don't like him. He's not my favorite. If I can get rid of him first, I'll do it. It just makes the most sense to me. I don't know, man. Yeah, we'll go here first. Clear! Oh. Individual barricade boards have been unlocked. Each individual board contains events specific to a certain suitor. The goal of each board is to clear the events until you reach this large icon, the board's key event. The choice you make up to the key event has a significant impact on how the story proceeds. Remember, words and actions have consequences. The final event unlocked on the board, once the key events are complete, finish the climax to clear that suitor's board for that particular level. Fully clear boards are deleted. Okay, when do I get Robbie? I want Robbie. I like Robbie. Robbie looks cute. I'm already at a loss. I don't know what's happening anymore. Alright, so we're on the board. A recipe. Book for love. Ichiya makes meals for me every day, but they aren't exactly your standard fare. Okay, but I can go back to this board. I can go back to this board. I don't even have to be here. Hear me out. Ah. Oh, I can go over here. Clear at least one suitor's level 1 board to unlock. Okay. There's a lot happening. Okay. Handsome looks, suave, a repertoire of sweet words and loving expressions. He had everything a girl would want from a perfect boyfriend. That was Ichiya Mitsumori. Is he writing this himself? As one of the suitors grandfather chose for me, he spent every day actively courting my favor. Flirty and unwavering confidence, he never gave up. If there is one thing that I could say about him, is that dealing with him exhausts me. Pork cutlet lunch set with burdock root and stewed pumpkin, deep fried tofu and egg custard on the side. Tsumugi raised an eyebrow at the plate I plucked down.
ずいぶん食欲旺盛ですのね。
My, you have a healthy appetite today, madam.
ちょっとね。
Oh, just a little. Ignoring Tsumugi's curiosity, I focused on moving my fork to my mouth. When the plates of my lunch sides and desserts were clean, I pat my mouth with a napkin and sighed happily.
お腹はいっぱいになりまして。
Well, now?
満足よ。
Yes, that's much better.
ではそろそろ腹ペコの理由を教えてくださいません？
Now then, will you finally let me on the reason you have a healthy appetite? I hesitated for a moment. Tsumugi plopped her chin down on her hand and smiled patiently. You aren't worming your way out of this one, madam. Her expression said it all. I sighed heavily as I tried to figure out where to start.
一夜さんが用意してくれる食事が
It's the meals Ichiya prepares.
美味しくありませんの？
Are they bad? I shook my
美味
head.
しいは美味しいのよ。問題は彼の空回りというか勘違いというか。
No, they're good. Delicious even. The problem is his misconception, I suppose. Or maybe I should say his theatrics.
おはよう、俺の小指さん。今日のモーニングは姫仕様だよ。
Good morning, my sweet. I assembled a breakfast fit for a princess. A princess.
皿とカトラリー一式をアンティーク調で揃えてみたんだ。
The place
上
and
品さが
cutlery
君にぴったりだね。
are antique style. Their dignified airs suits you
し
perfectly.
かも今日は特別サービス。ソースでお嬢さんの似顔絵を描いてあげるから。
And as a special treat for you, Leah, I will draw a portrait of your beautiful face in the sauce. Excuse me.
お礼ならキスを唇に。
A simple kiss on the lips will be thanks enough.
朝は簡単なものでお願いします。忙しいので。
I'd prefer a fast, simple breakfast. Mornings are often busy.
うん。
Sure.
おはようお嬢さん。今朝はアボカドサンドを用意したよ。ゆで卵やハムも挟んで栄養満点さ。
Good morning, Leah. I've made you an avocado sandwich. It has a hard-boiled egg and sliced ham. It's packed with protein and nutrients. I'm allergic to
味
avocados.
はどうかな？
Do you like it?
まあ
It's acceptable.
明日も期待しててくれ。
Great. Looking forward to tomorrow too. I have a bad feeling about this. The next morning.
今日はトマトを使ったつけ麺だよ。爽やかな甘酸っぱさが食欲を引き立たせるだろう。
Today we have a dipping noodle with a tomato-based sauce. The sweet and sour tangerine does wonders to spur the appetite, does it not? Tomato-based dipping noodles. The day after.
おはようお嬢さん。今日はロシアの定番朝ごはん。 カーシャを作ってみたんだ。
Good morning, Leah. Today I made you a buckwheat kasha porridge for you. It's a Russian breakfast staple. And finally yesterday,
今日の朝ごはんはメキシコのケサディアを
I tried my hand at making a Mexican quesadilla for you today. Please,
普通のものが食べたい。
please just give me something normal to eat.
考えるよ。
I'll see what I can do.
今日の朝ごはんはどんなでしょうね。
Boy, I wonder what we get for breakfast
フル
today.
コースとか準備してくんじゃねえか。和洋折衷ずらーっと並べてよ。
Probably a 5-course Eastern meets Western fusion feast or something like that.
面白がらないで。
That's not funny.
お嬢さん、朝食が用意できてるよ。
Leah, breakfast is ready,
どうぞ
please.
こちらへ。
Have a seat. An omelet and toast sat on my plate. A small salad with mini tomatoes was on the side.
普通だ。
It's normal food.
普通だな。
Yeah, normal. A normal breakfast.
はあ、見た目はね。しかし大事なのは味と中身。今日は素材を厳選してみたんだ。
On the outside, at least. However, these will not taste like normal eggs and toast. I tried being extra particular about quality ingredients
この
today.
ミニトマトは有機栽培で有名な山田さんから、このオムレツの卵は味が濃いことで有名な斉藤農場。
Oh,
ね。
okay, so it's not different. It's just differently procured. Got it. The mini tomatoes are from Yamada Farms, famous for their organic produce, and the eggs are from Saito Farms, a big name in free-range poultry. Good, right? What do you mean, right?
それは毎朝大変ですわね。
My, that is a lot to deal with on a daily
でも見
basis.
積もりさんもあなたに喜んでいただくために一生懸命なんですわ、きっと。
I'm sure Mitsumori is simply trying his best to make things that you will enjoy, Leah. I understood that. I knew he wasn't trying to be troublesome, but the bigger problem
お
was
かわりができないの。
I can never have seconds.
一夜さん、女の子は全員ものすごく小食だと思ってるのよ。
Ichiya has it in his head that all girls eat like birds.
量より質だと思い込んでるから、毎回私のだけ食材とか盛り付けにこだわった別メニュー。
He's all about quality over quantity, so every day he makes me a completely different dish just for me with fancy ingredients and gourmet
おか
plating.
わり分なんて考えてないのよ。
The thoughts of seconds never even crossed his mind.
お願いすればよろしいじゃありませんの。おかわりも作ってほしいって。
Then why not simply ask him? Let him know that you'd like to have seconds. But then he would know I like the food. Tsumugi, get on board. Idea sounded solid, but I shook my head.
それは絶対にダメ。
I can't. That's the last thing I want to do.
お嬢さん、これだけで足りるんですか？
Well, Leah, is that teeny bit of food going to be enough for you? It is rather a small portion.
足りるに決まっているだろう。これでも多いくらいさ。お嬢さんは女の子なんだから。
Of course, it's plenty. In fact, I'd say it's almost too much for her. Leah's a girl, you know. What kind of reason is that?
大食いの君たちはおかわりが当然だと思っているかもしれないけれどね。お嬢さんは違うのさ。ね。
I just continue to hate him more and more. How is this a love interest? How? Unlike you gluttons who shovel in thirds and fourths like it's no big deal, Leah is different. She's a dainty eater.
いつもねって何よ。あんな言い方されたら。
Every single time he looks at me and is like, right? How am I supposed to retort?
それで
We
あ
need
の
to
ラン
throw
チ
him
で
in
し
the
たの
river.
ね。
Oh god. The one in hell though, specifically. I want to throw him in that one. He can't come back. There's only one way in. Thus today's lunch.
どうしてあんなに料理にこだわるのかわからない。
I have no idea why he is that ridiculously fussy about his cooking. Unconsciously, my hand drifted down to my tummy. She's like, I just want breakfast.
まだ食べられる気がする。デザートおかわりしようかしら。
I think I have room for a little more. Maybe I'll get a second dessert.
それはさすがに食べ過ぎですわ。
That, I think, would definitely be going overboard. She's like, you don't understand. I'm only gonna be eating sunflower seeds until tomorrow.
ただい。
I'm back.
おかえり、お嬢さん。
See, I hate it. Leah, welcome home. Like, I don't like you.
待っていたよ、俺の可愛いお姫様。離れている間、ずっと考えていた。君は今、何を思っているだろう。
I've been waiting for you, my lovely princess. I thought of nothing but you the whole time we were parted. I wondered what or who you were thinking about.
早く部屋に戻りたいと思ってます。
I'm thinking that I want to go back to my room. I turned and tried to make for my sanctuary, but Ichiya reached out and grabbed my arm. I already don't like you, buddy. Don't touch
お嬢
me.
さん、一つだけ質問させてくれないか。
Leah, wait, can I ask you one question before you go, please? The little hint of desperation in his voice made me pause and look back.
一つだけなら。
One question.
今日のランチは何を食べたんだい？
What did you have for lunch today? Carefully held my neutral expression, hiding my panic. Had somebody tattled on me? The giant lunch set, all the side dishes and desserts. Who had snitched on my rumbling tummy?
なぜそんなことを聞くの？
Why do you ask?
夕食のメニューを考えていてね。ランチと同じものは避けたくて。ダメかな。
I was just thinking about what to make for dinner and I didn't want to overlap with anything you'd already had today. You don't mind, do you? He looked serious. I relaxed my shoulders and forced my calm facade not to crack. He didn't know. That was all that mattered.
和風の定食よ。ごく普通の。
I had a perfectly normal Japanese lunch
普
set.
通といっても、アニエスのシェフは有名ホテルでコック長を務めた人だろ？ネットで紹介されていたよ。
You say normal, but the chef at St. Agnes used to be the head chef at a multi-star hotel, right? I saw an internet document on him.
まあ、味に不満はないけど。
The food isn't unsatisfactory, no. I was almost impressed at how well informed he was, but for some reason my answer made Ichiya's brows furrow in concern.
やはり素人の俺が作るものより、一流のプロが作る方が君の口には合うのかもしれないな。
I can't feel bad for this man. He comes on way too strong to a 17-year-old and he feeds her nothing and he's trash. He's trash. This man is trash. I guess dishes made by starred professional chefs are going to suit your palate more than anything an amateur home cook like me could make. Ichiya, who was usually a front of self-confidence, slumped his shoulders dejectedly.
大丈夫。忘れないから。
Oh, that's right. Oh, I should have went the other way. I should have went the other way. Oh no, this is gonna take a minute. Outwardly, I maintained a disinterested look. Inwardly, my mind roiled in confusion. Romance up, we did it. I don't want it,
ど
but
う
I
し
did
て
it.
そう思うの？
What makes you think that?
その、俺の料理では君に喜んでもらえない気がしてね。
I get the impression that the meals I make for you don't make you happy. I couldn't help but blink in surprise. I didn't have any particular problem with the food that Ichiya made. His dishes didn't thrill me as much as he clearly wanted, but I was fine with his cooking. Barring the small servings and overblown plating,
普通に美味しいと思うけど。
I think the food you cook is perfectly tasty.
本当かい？
Really?
ええ。
Yeah?
いや、それじゃダメなんだ。
That's not good enough. His cooking was good. I wasn't dissatisfied with how it tasted. I couldn't understand what was wrong with that.
俺はどうすべきなんだろう。
What am I supposed to do now? Feed me, Seymour! Like, give me food! Ichiya's shoulders slumped in dejection again. I was looking at him bewildered when the front door opened.
帰ったぜ。
I'm back. Oh, he's wearing normal clothes. Look at that. I like that. Oh, wait. No, he's wearing the same shirt, I guess.
イチヤ、また口説き文句が滑ってんのかよ。そろそろ違う手考えろって。
Yeah, Ichiya, did another one of your pickup lines go over like a lead balloon? Bros, try something new. Taiga saw us, smirked, and let fly his usual snarky comments. Somehow this promptly revved Ichiya, who made a show of brushing back his bangs and huffing.
お嬢さんへの配慮に欠ける大河に言われずとも策はあるさ。
I don't need
俺
to
は
hear that
女
from you,
心への理解
Taiga.
と知識が豊富でね。
Unlike your boorish attitude towards Leah, I happen to understand what ladies like and how they think.
だからこそ高嶺の花であるお嬢さんが愛おしいのさ。彼女はクールな俺の心に火をつ
Like
けて
this blushing on cue and making up this trash statement. That's why her lofty, haughty attitude tugs at my heart. Her fiery spirit has lit a blaze of adoration on this cold-hearted hearth of my soul. How does that make any sense? And weren't you a depressed mess a minute ago? I stared at Ichiya dumbfounded. He turned and flashed one of his oh-so-suave smiles at
待っ
me.
ててくれ。今日こそは君の心を掴んで離さない。とっておきの料理を考えておくからね。
Just you wait. I'll make a dish for you tonight that's so special it'll grab your heart and never let go.
私はあくまで普通で。
I'm really okay with just a normal dinner.
期待してて。
Please look forward to great things. He punctuated his offer threat with his patented cheesy wink, then strutted to the kitchen.
まあ、俺は腹が膨れりゃ何でもいい。
As long as it's feeling, I don't care. I sighed heavily, shaking my head at Taiga's blithe comment. Imagine just she dies from this. Okay, we have 2 now. All right. Ichiya from Taiga's perspective. Ichiya from Shion's perspective. Interesting. I don't have to do both to continue. I just have to do one. Oh, let's see. Let's do not Taiga. Let's do Shion's perspective. Let's see what he has to say about this guy. I can spell. Do I want to clear the board though? Oh god. Oh gosh. We'll see how long it is. If it's like 5 minutes, then I'll switch.
シオンさん、
Shion,
何をしてるんですか？
what are you doing? Shion expending effort. My voice cracked with shock. He looked at me and smiled gently.
紅茶を入れてるところだよ。小鳥ちゃんも一緒にどう？
I'm just putting on some tea. Would you care to join me, Leah?
シオンさんが自分で紅茶？
He's offered to make you tea before. I don't know why that's so surprising. You're making tea for yourself? Why? Was he was the sort of person to call Nayuta to grab something that was sitting next to his elbow. I stared at Shion in disbelief. His smile turned wary and he shrugged smoothly.
僕だって紅茶くらいは自分で入れるよ。頼める人がいればお願いするけどね。
Even I can make a pot of tea for myself, though if there's someone I can ask to do it for me, I'll do that instead. Here you go. I looked down at the amber liquid in the cup I held. As far as I could tell, it was perfectly normal tea.
いただきます。
Thank you. Itadakimasu. Hesitantly, I took a tiny sip.
美味しい。
It's delicious.
よかった。
Really?
その辺にあった調味
Lovely.
で
I'm
適
glad
当
you
に入れ
enjoy
ただけ
it.
なんだけど。
Though all I did was steep the leaves, I found it in the cabinet for a minute.
いいのよ。それで
That's perfectly fine. Really, it was. It was normal, everyday tea, and that was more than enough for me. So why did Ichiya insist on making food complicated?
シオンさんは料理もできたりするの？
Shion, would you happen to know how to cook?
キッチンは一夜の城だからね。
The kitchen is Ichiya's castle, as you know. Whether he could or not aside, it seemed there was no way to convince him to trade off duties with Ichiya.
小鳥ちゃんは一夜の料理嫌？
Do you not like Ichiya's cooking, Leah?
いや、ではないですけど。
I don't not like that. Don't not like it. I danced around the subject. Shion looked at me with a graceful smile.
一夜が自分のアピールポイントを見てもらおうとするのはいいと思う。
Ichiya is attempting to make you notice his greatest strength. I think that's fine.
けれど、本当の彼は尽くすのがあまり得意じゃないのかもって思うよ。
However, I also think that he isn't particularly skilled at dedicating himself to another person.
Eh?
Huh? That wasn't what I was expecting to hear. As long as Ichiya had been here, well, as long as I had been in the house with him, he has always seemed to bustle from one task to another just for me. Shion, though, thought for a moment, then nodded to himself. He smiled
それ
gently.
にね、小鳥ちゃん。君も尽くされることが得意じゃないのかもしれないね。
Ooh. Ooh. Let me check something. Can I fix this? Hang on. Sometimes it might freeze my camera. Hang on. It's getting so red again. It did this last time and it was color balance got marked to like on or something and it made me so red. Hi, Dweet. It's doing it again. What the heck? When it does that, it does that.
そうなのね。
So, nanone, I have new sound bites. That's the second time it's done it, and it's done it without my permission. Ectogament. Oh no, Prim, did you even hear it? Oh no. Alright, and to be honest, I think you might not be very skilled at having someone devoted to you, Leah.
それって。
Disho. So it has 2 sounds right now. I'm gonna add more to it, but that's for redeeming anything. There's like, maybe there's 3 actually. There's 2 or 3. I've done a few other things. There's other surprises, but you have to wait for someone to do it. Oh my goodness. What do you mean?
してほしいことがあるなら、さりげなく相手に伝えるのが尽くされる人間の義務なんだ。
Someone who's devoted does all they can for the one they're devoted to, and the devoted must tell the devotee that they want either casually or convertedly.
そうすれば、お互いに気持ちよく尽くしたり尽くされたりできる。
What did you miss? Okay, so our best friend came over. I'll show you what she looks like when she's in casual clothes. And she ruined everybody's lives. She made everybody cry because she's really good at card games. She's like, I'll tell you guys a secret. If you beat me at card games, and they played her all day and they couldn't win because she's just that cool. She also put them in their places a little bit. And now we're on our first board for a boy, and we got our first level up. Really, nothing has happened in all of that. Nothing really has happened. And that's all you've missed. And I've added a bunch of new things to the channel, sort of, for redemption, sort of. So if you do things, there's new sounds. I can't associate it with a single redemption, though. I don't know if I can fix that, but I would love to. There's also new sounds if I get rated. There's new sounds if you subscribe. There's, I think, a new sound if you follow.
そうなのね。
そうなのね. See, I plan on adding more. For some reason, when I make sounds on my one thing, it always makes it MP3, but in capital letters. Hear me out. This is the weirdest sentence I'm going to say. And because of that, you cannot use it. It has to be lowercase, so you have to literally go through a converter just to convert an MP3 to another MP3, but in lowercase. So I haven't been able to finish doing all the changes because I only was able to do 10 conversions yesterday. So I'll do more today. And I was trying to see about Bits, because like Bits has redemptions too now. I don't know. Let me see if I can do this now. I was trying to make it make sense, but I really don't know. Let's see. I want to see if this will work. We're just going to see. Does this do anything now? See, I see nothing. Nothing's changed. And I tried to go through and figure that one out, so I don't know what to do with that. We'll see. We'll see. Someday. Like, I literally searched on-screen celebration, how effort, ? I don't see anything about it. That's why they may both devote themselves and be devoted to in the most fulfilling way possible. Whew! To be honest, I wasn't quite sure I understood what Shion said, but the message felt important. I thought about it a moment and then asked the question that had struck me immediately. Oh, actually, wait, this reminds me. There's one thing you did miss, Prim. The guy who cooks keeps squeezing her baby-sized portions. And he makes a big deal that she's got a tiny tummy and that she can't handle big foods because she's a girl. And so she doesn't want to say, actually, I would like a real plate, thank you. And so she's been overeating at school because he makes her dinner and breakfast. And so during lunch, she overeats at school now. Bruh, yeah. Did you say that from personal experience? Shion simply chuckled. I'll leave that one to your imagination. Okay, that wasn't too long, so I'll do all of them. That's just sexist. Yes, it is. That's how I felt. But we are slowly doing the things. All right, and this is Taiga's perspective. I can spell.
Taiga-san.
Bring me to the buffet and I'll tear it up, guys. Dude, it literally made me want to go to a buffet because they're talking about how much food she had on her plate. I'm like, dude, I'm hungry right now. Taiga! I was standing right behind him, but the rumble of the engine drowned out my voice.
Taiga-san!
Taiga!
Taiga-san!
Taiga!
ああ、どうしたお嬢、大声出して。
What's up, babe? Why are you shouting? I wasn't shouting for fun. I was seized by the urge to snap a comeback, but I held my ire in.
聞きたいことがあるんだけど。
I have a question.
俺に?
What? You're asking me? I nodded, then
私が
continued.
学校に行ってる間の食事ってどうしてるのかなって。
I was curious what the rest of you had for lunch while I was away at school.
ああ、カップ麺とか残り物とかな。外出ることもあるか。俺は食わねえことも多いけどな。
That, instant noodles, leftovers, sometimes we go to eat too. Me though, most of the time I just skip lunch.
Ichiyaさんの料理は?
Doesn't Ichiya cook anything?
俺たちのために作るわけねえだろ。あいつが料理すんのはお嬢のためだけだ。
What? You think he'd cook for us? Nah, babe. He only breaks out the pots and pans for you.
ああ、試食会は別な。そういう時はいろいろ食わされるぜ。
These men are more unstable than the Parasite 5, 6. Yeah. Apparently, I'm gonna learn so much more. He admitted he was an orphan, so that's my newest thing. He's an orphan, Taiga. This is an orphan here. This is a face of a man without any idea who his parents are. But test dishes are different. When he's trying something new, he makes us taste all kinds of stuff. The problem wasn't that he was particular about cooking. He was only particular about what he cooked for me. Much, much too particular. He even makes the others taste test his dishes. I sighed, shaking my head. Taiga looked up at me with a wary grin.
一夜なりに考えてんだろ。ある意味、4人の中で一番努力してるぜ。分かってやれよ。
He's thinking about this in his own way, babe. Hell, out of all of us, he's probably the one putting the most effort in. At least give him some credit, okay? I agreed with that part. Thinking of what to make, then going to the effort of cooking it every single day, that isn't easy by any stretch of the imagination.
愛されてるよな。ここまでされて悪い気はしねえだろ。
Does he though? He doesn't even know her. He sure loves you, can't deny that. It's gotta be nice knowing you got a guy make that kind of effort.
意地になってるだけじゃない？前に高嶺の花がとか言ってたもの。
Are you sure he isn't just being stubborn? He called me lofty and haughty and whatnot a minute ago. I wrinkled my nose and Taiga snorted at me.
相変わらずひねくれてんな。あんだけ必死にやってんだから素直に受け取れって。
You're a cold one, babe. That man's giving it his all, you know. You could at least acknowledge that much.
余計なお世話。
I don't need a lecture. But let's be real. You guys are all... Oh!
たまにはサバ味噌とか出せっての。
I do know something you missed, Prim. We Googled her age because I got so confused and I just wanted to know how old she is. She is 17 years old. And Ichiya is 26. And this is the man who has been saying in this part of the game so far, would you like me to comfort you and we can share a bed together? Do you want to sit in my lap? "26, 17. Yeah. Though even I'll admit he's too desperate at times. Just give us some fish and miso, bro. Damn. Jail. Right, straight to jail. Exactly. Inwardly, I nodded in enthusiastic agreement. Jail, all of you. Oh god. Like, it's wild. I don't understand. We were talking about how it would have been better if she was just 25 even. Just make her 25. Because if she's 25 and she's like working, at least then you can make an excuse as to why they're worried about her not being married. A massive misconception. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm Oh, he's got normal clothes too. It doesn't suit his hair. It's dumb that the MC's always so young. Yeah, if there's not a game that I'm playing next month, because I don't recall if there is one coming out right now, we are planning on playing Dairoku, because she's got a real job. That's what I was told by Yini. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do Dairoku then. Yo, babe.
お帰りなさい。
Lee,
お嬢
welcome
さん。
home. I opened the door only to almost run smack into Taiga and Nayuta. Both of them were grinning ear to ear.
どうしたの？
I'm tired of them being like, oh, look, they got non-alcoholic beer. And I'm like, please stop. What are you doing?
カレールーを買いに行くんです。
We're going to buy some curry roux. Roux.
一夜と夕飯のメニューかけて勝負したんだ。今夜はカレーだぜ。
Me and Ichiya had a little bet going. He lost. I got to decide dinner tonight, and I said we're having curry.
おしゃれでもない。隠し味にもやたら凝らない。何の変哲もない。ごくごく普通のカレーだ。
Age is just a number, the video game, basically. It's concerning. It hurts. No fancy ingredients, no secret spices, no regular everyday regular everyday out of the box curry, which, oh my gosh, if you've ever had box curry, it is so good. There's some we get, I think it's called Golden. It's so friggin' good. It's not as good as like going to a place that has curry, But Japanese curry is so unique. I only had Japanese curry in Korea and Japan. Those are the only two places I've had Japanese style curry. Like I could go in and sit down. And I do like coconut curry. It is also very, very delicious, but they're different moods. If I say I want curry, I want cocoa curry. Like that's what I want. No fancy ingredients, no secret spices, just regular everyday out of the box curry. Let's go.
行ってきますね。
We'll be back before long. See ya. Regular curry. Did that mean the same regular curry and rice that I knew and loved? Fluffy steamed white rice with savory curry sauce poured over top. Just the thought made my tummy growl. I've never had curry. It is really, really good. It also depends on how you get it. The place I used to go and get curry from offered katsudon with it, so you could get like chicken or pork katsu with it. And so like it'd be curry and like a bite of chicken that's like breaded. It's so good. So good. And depending on like the vegetables as well. Like I like carrots and potatoes a lot in curry. That's so good. I want some. I really, really, really wanted some. Visions of curry rice mountains were dancing in my mind. The memories of the dainty meals I'd been forced to tolerate lately only made the hunger pang sharpen. I'm sure I won't be able to have any. I mean...
カレーだ。
She's straight up dying over here. Oh my goodness. Look at that. See, that's got carrots and potatoes in it. Oh my gosh. It's so good. They don't have any katsu with theirs, but that's fine. Bro, it's curry.
カレーですね。
Yep, that's curry.
カレーだね。
It is indeed curry.
お嬢さんには特別メニューでトマトのココットカレー風味ガーリックトースト添えだよ。
I have of course made a separate dish for you, Leah. Curry seasoned shirried eggs and tomato with garlic toast on the side.
お嬢さん、こっちのカレー食べないんですか？
Aren't you gonna have the same curry as us, Leah?
そんな平凡なカレーじゃお嬢さんみたいな女の子は喜んでくれないだろ。
Of course she isn't. She's never would eat box curry like a commoner. Girls like you don't enjoy that kind of vulgar flair, right, Leah?
おお、こんなにうまいのにな。
Vulgar, huh? Tastes pretty damn good to me.
残念だけど、しょうがないね。
Well, that's unfortunate, but it's your choice. It's... Honestly, that would make sense. He's the one who told her, you know, you gotta tell people when they dote on you if you don't like something, and she's just been living like this.
ボリュームも少なめの女の子サイズだよ。さあ、召し上がれ。
And I made sure it was the appropriate dainty portion for a dainty lady. Go on and enjoy. She's just dying over here. I want to eat regular curry. Has there ever been another time in my life when I felt this strongly over a plate of plain old curry and rice? Never. Then I had no choice. I had to say it now or forever be struck with my regret. This is a prison. It is. Because part of the problem is he'll say it before she can. So the issue she's running into is he's like, no, she's a perfect flower. She would never do that. And then he goes, right? And that is like... Instead of just going, do you want that? And then she'd be like, no. But she doesn't want to say that after hearing that. I breathed deeply, stilled myself, and walked towards the kitchen. First, I needed to scout the enemy position. I quietly peered around the kitchen door.
なぜ俺がこんな初歩的なカレーなんて。これじゃ腕の振るいようがないじゃないか。俺も見くびられたものだな。
Manipulate. Yeah, exactly. It's manipulation. It's like almost, I was saying kind of like gaslighting in a way. Because like if you start a sentence with you would never and then finish it with right, and then you put in the middle just stuff that makes it sound like you're a wonderful person and this is a bad thing. That's when it like turns it into trash. Why am I stuck making a beginner's dish like a box curry? How am I supposed to demonstrate my skills with this rubbish? God, they don't respect me. Mumbling complaints to himself, Ichiya defeatedly peeled a handful of potatoes. I saw carrots, onions, and a generous pile of sliced meat on his cutting board too. Curry ingredients, run-of-the-mill curry ingredients, so lovely, so
イチヤ
plain.
さんちょっといい？
Ichiya, do you have a moment?
おや、俺の可愛い恋人さん。寂しくなっちゃったのかな？
Hello, my sweet. Did you miss my presence so much that you came to see me? With that bright smile he turned on me, it was so hard to believe he was grumbling and complaining a minute ago. There were several things I wanted to say, but best to get the most important part out first.
今日の夕飯はカレーなんでしょ？
Tonight's dinner is curry, right?
はあ、タイガたちに会ったんだね。まったく困ったものだよ。俺に一般的なカレーを作れだなんて。
You must have seen Taiga, yes. Can you believe him telling me, of all people, to make normal box curry like a cafeteria worker?
もちろんお嬢さんにはちゃんと手の込んだ特別メニューを用意するさ。君のハートをグッと
She
掴む
dreamed
スペシャル
correct.
な。
Don't worry, I'll make a separate, appropriately intricate dish for you, Leah. Something so good and so special to grab you by the
み
heartstrings.
んな
And
と同じがいいの。
I want curry, same as everyone else.
みんなと同じものが食べたいの。だって一緒に住んでるんだから。
I want to eat the same meal as all the others. We're all living together after all.
それに毎回違う料理を作るのは一夜さんも手間でしょ？
Besides, making something different for me every time has to be a lot of work, right? That was persuasive argument, if I did say so myself. I was feeling quite satisfied with myself. Ichiya looked at me, still seemingly unconvinced.
そんなことを思っていたのかい？
You really think that? I nodded firmly, looking right back at him. I willed my thoughts to drill directly into his brain. I wanted to eat normal curry! After a moment, I could see his shoulders relax and a tension drained out of them. He smiled.
本当にお嬢さんは優しい子だね。自分の好みを犠牲にしてまで俺のことを考えてくれるなんて。
See, she's not doing a good job. Fuck off. Ochuru. Oh god, what is that? Ochiru. That's not Ichiya. Ichiya. You are such a kind person, Leah. I am flattered that you think of my exhaustion, even if it means sacrificing your own wants. What made him think that?
でもね、君はそんな心配しなくていいんだ。俺の一番の願いは、俺の手間暇かけた料理で
It
君が
doesn't.
幸せを感じてくれることなんだから。
She needs to just say it. She just needs to say it because one, he's trash, in my opinion. So let's stop mingling with trash. You don't need to worry about me. My biggest wish is that the cooking I spend so much time on brings you happiness and brightens your day. Right now, having regular curry would make me happy, but I couldn't say it, not flat out. Say it. I desperately tried to come up with a convenient excuse.
忘れないよ。君の感触。
Wait,
Wait.
I need to go back.
一夜さんは使用人じゃないでしょ？
Wait, let me load that up again.
何度でもかかってこい。
I'm gonna switch my answer, but I just want to show what popped up on the screen first. This is her guard going up. Look, her guard's going up.
だって一夜さんは使用人じゃないでしょ？本来なら料理を作る義務はないはずよ。
Who cares if you hurt the it's feeling?
何度でも
Because I'm
君の
gonna get
思う
all
ま
the
ま
endings. Unless I need that, who knows? I don't want to be spoiled. There we go.
甘えた人間にはなりたくないの。これまでだって厳しくしつけられてきたし、それが役立ったこともたくさんあるのよ。
I assume in order to get the true ending, you have to do the guard up options. Or maybe not. I don't know. That sounds bad. I don't want to come off as a spoiled child. I was raised under strict discipline, you know? And that discipline has strengthened my character.
だからこれからも特別扱いや甘やかしは受けたくないの。
He's the one not listening. He hasn't listened to a word she said this whole time. Even if she literally goes, I want you to leave me the fuck alone, he goes, oh, my darling, you are so kind and sweet to think of me as wanting to want you from far away. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut up. Leave her alone. She doesn't like you. Or like when she's like, no, and he's like, ah, but her eyes are saying that she's in love with me. I can see it. And I'm like, I swear to God. He's supposed to be a womanizer, but he can't womanize at all. I don't want any special treatment. I don't want to make anyone go out of their way for my meal. A frown tweaked on the corners of Ichiya's lips.
君を甘やかすのが俺の役目なんだけどね。
Is he worse than Zafora? Is he worse than a man who ghosted us for a year and then gave us flowers and said this is for all the times I'm going to not actually take care of you? They're neck and neck right now, we'll see. He's like Prince Charming in Shrek. Oh my god, yes. No wonder I hate him so much. I hated Prince Charming in Shrek. It's short of my job to spoil you. At least save it for times outside of meal times. I stayed quiet, looking straight at him. After a moment, Ichiya backed down, letting a smile come to his lips.
自分に厳しいお嬢さんは美しい。その美しさには誰も勝てないだろう。
Here's the problem.
乾杯だよ。
They want me to think he's in love with me. They want me to think that, right? It's what they want. If he loved me, I'm doing his hand pose accidentally. If he loved me, and he doesn't, you would have to show me why. Like a past life, a past moment, something we did together that justifies this behavior. We ain't gonna see it. Because they've got a 9-year age gap and she is 17 years old. So there's no way in hell he fell in love with her before. Leanne gets a pass because Leanne is 500 years old. You know what I mean? Leanne has no concept of age. He's different. This is an actual man. He is of this world. He is not a fae. Oh my god. Ghosting or overbearing? Overbearing, I guess, because I had to deal with it. Ghosting, she should have found a new man. She should have found a new man. You're gorgeous when you're strict with me, Leah. I don't think anything in this world will ever outshine that beauty. I surrender completely.
俺はお嬢さんのわがままなら何だって叶えてあげたい。たとえそれが苦しく辛いことでもね。
I do want to fulfill every little thing that you request, Leah, even if it's something that breaks my heart. Ichiya put his hand on his chest as if wounded, but this theatric didn't move me, because tonight I get to eat normal curry for normal people.
それじゃあ夕食楽しみにしてるわね。
Well then, I'm looking forward to tonight's dinner.
ああ、任せてくれ。
Sure thing, leave it to me. I left the kitchen feeling so happy I almost started humming. We're not gonna get curry. I get the feeling we're not gonna get curry. I feel like curry isn't coming our way, guys. Get a life, Ichiya. She is his life. I can hardly wait. I went through my homework with half of mine, my brain occupied with dreams of curry. I couldn't help but let a giggle escape.
そうなのね。
そうなのね. There's more I'm gonna add to this. I thought there was 3. Am I wrong? Hang on. Let me check. I thought I had 3, but I'm only hearing 2, but the third one might have been one I hadn't been able to change yet. So Nanone. I love her so much. I miss her. I miss that woman.
そうなのね。
So Nanone. It's good because it means I get to have different sounds. Yes, but it does say deso desho as well still too. It just flips. It chooses which one it's going to use. So you have a 50-50 chance of getting either sound. Here, I can maybe redeem one. Maybe I'll do the other one again. Desho, see? So yeah, it's a 50-50 shot of getting either sound right now. As I add more, we'll have more variety there. Whee! But Yes. Yes, there's going to be more sounds there just for redemption because I don't know how to make it for specific ones. Like, I wish I could have one specifically for Hydrate and I could have one specifically... Who's the woman? It's Levy from Radiant Tale. Levy. It's our sweet, sweet water woman. I couldn't help but let a giggle escape. Kasuga, who was setting out a cup of tea for me, smiled along with me.
何か嬉しいことでもありましたか?
Did something pleasant happen today, miss?
私、分かったのよ。自分に打ち勝つことがどんなに素晴らしいか。
You could say that. Today I learned how amazing it is to overcome oneself.
それは良かったですね。
She didn't straight up say, I want fucking curry. She stepped around it. I just don't think she's gonna get it. That's nice to hear. I can hardly wait for dinner time. She's gonna be so disappointed soon. Stepping into the living room, I could already catch the savory scent of curry wafting from the kitchen. It had been long enough since I last had normal curry that the smell was enough to make my tummy rumble. He'll make it himself? Maybe, but no. So the reason... No, oh no, we'll see. I made my way to the dining room. I was halfway across the living room when I came to my senses. If they found out that I was looking forward to curry this much, they'd definitely tease me over it. I had to calm down and treat this as any other evening. What the hell?
どうしたの?
What's wrong? I dashed to the dining room where the shout came from. The first thing that I saw when I walked in was... curry. Technically, anyways. But not really. 5 prettily plated tiny bowls of curry, spiced rice, gratin sat in front of us. Each had dainty salads, a cup of lassi, and even a petite chocolate cupcake set by the side. Why were they all plated so pointlessly dressed up? Our discussion in the kitchen floated back to mine. Curse you, Ichiya.
みんなと同じものが食べたいの。
He technically done what I asked, but this isn't what I meant.
姫のご希望通りに準備したよ。さあ、冷めないうちに。
I prepared everything precisely as my princess requested. Go on, dig in before it gets cold. I was still too stunned to think straight, but Nayuta, Taiga, and Shion were under no such constraints.
俺のカレー、これじゃない。
Jordan shoes. I don't know what that insurance is. MC values and World of Warcraft. I've been getting these a lot. Nice. Shion don't give a fuck. Shion wasn't the one excited for curry. Plus, he's a passenger princess, so this isn't my usual curry.
違うよな。
Totally different for me too.
そう？僕は好きだけど。
I prefer this kind of curry, to be honest. I'm so sorry. I mentally apologized to Taiga and Nayuta for indirectly subjecting them to weird people's curry. Oh, what happened? He made curry, but he made a different curry. He didn't make normal curry. He made fancy curry for everybody. Racked by guilt, I tried not to squirm in my seat. Ichiya didn't notice. It looked as he looked at the others inside.
そんなにカレーライスが食べたければ好きにしてくれ。ルーの残りは鍋に。
If you really want commoners curry and rice that badly, go for it. There's leftover roux in the pot. Nayuta and Taiga gulped down their granite and dashed to the stove. Both piled their plates high with normal curry. Steaming white rice, creamy, curdy roux, the spicy savory scent taunted me. I want some of that too. But my wish hadn't gotten through. Ichiya looked at me grinning ear to ear with a brilliant smile. Girl, just go to your room. See, like, just leave.
満足してもらえた。
Satisfied? Fuck no. She literally said she wanted what everybody else was having and you decided to make it stupid.
ありがとう。
Thanks. My curry spiced rice, rotten, tasted like tears and regret. Order out. Right, she needs to stop eating the food. If she doesn't want to eat it, don't friggin' eat it. I'm mad that she's just like living through this shit. Like, bro. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, my bad. Ichiya from Nayuta's perspective. Alright, we'll watch this first, I guess. I don't know how it decides these things. I have an M instead of an N. Oh god. This game is very rage-inducing. To be clear, they literally said, I can't wait for you to be so mad when this won. That's why I said it ruined my life. Peeking into the living room, I saw Nayuta happily chowing down on some rice balls.
夕飯食べたばっかりよね。
Didn't we just have dinner?
はい。でも全然足りなくて。イチヤさんの料理すごい美味しいのに全然おかわりくれないんですよね。
Yeah, but that wasn't nearly enough. I was still so hungry. Ichiya makes yummy food, but he never lets me have seconds, let alone thirds. That is definitely true.
それに俺、ここ来るまで貧乏飯だったんで、おにぎりとか無償に食べたくなって。
Just eat a rice ball, girl. Just eat a rice ball. This is making me mad because she's just not doing shit. Like, what the fuck? She should be more spoiled than this. Why is she letting this guy make her meals every day if she doesn't fucking want to eat them? I don't care if the food's good. If he's making you shit, tiny baby... Like, if someone handed me 2 crackers and said this is a meal, I would cry or leave. Like, I can't. I can't with this. I can't with this trash. This is trash. Like, what is happening here? Before I came here, I was used to eating mostly peasant food. I still get hankerings for plain old rice balls.
そのおにぎりは自分で？
Do you make those yourself? Nayuta shook his head.
公園で会うおばあちゃんがくれるんです。この前もらったのはいなり寿司。その前はだし巻き卵。
She's trying so hard to get somebody else to make the food. A granny I see in the park gives me snacks. He just takes food from strangers. Last time it was a naughty sushi. This time before was rolled omelets. She makes yummy food. Was she feeding him treats like a stray? He is a stray. At least it ain't dog biscuits. And the rice balls Nayuta was stuffing into his face did look delicious. Tender white rice wrapped in crispy seaweed. It was 2 simple ingredients, but that's what made it good.
なんかこういうお袋の味ってほっとしますよね。
There's just something about this taste like mom's home cooking. It's so nice. I completely understood that. Meals at the main estate were generally prepared by skilled professional chefs, but I always preferred the simple family cooking that one of the assistants, Shimiko, would make. Her candied chestnuts were just I reminisced about some of the most delicious things she made and started to nod along with him, but...
でもやっぱりお嬢さんにはおしゃれご飯ですよね。女の子は量より質だって一夜さんが。
You love fancy gourmet meals the best, right, Leah? Ichiya told me so. He said girls are all about quality over quantity and stuff. Not all girls, thank
で
you.
も一夜さん本当にすごいですよね。毎日メニューを考えて料理して。俺もそういうことした方がいいのかな。
Man, Ichiya is really something. Thinking up new things to make every day, then working hard to cook it. Maybe I should do that too.
なゆたくん、料理できるの？
You can cook? Nayuta squinched up his face thinking.
焼くのとお湯を入れるのはできます。あとは頑張ります。
I can grill simple stuff and boil water. Other stuff, well, I'll learn from my mistakes.
頑張らなくて大丈夫。もっと他に向いてるものがあるから。
Ichiya spreading misinformation. He's a puppy. If you tell him something, he just takes it as face value. You don't have to if you don't want to. Your talent lies elsewhere.
そうですよね。俺の得意分野か。
Yeah, good point. I guess there's other stuff I'm kind of good at. Munch. Offer her a fucking rice ball. Did he agree or had he simply stopped caring? Either way, I suppose I had to at least save I had at least saved the kitchen from being turned into a disaster area. Oh. Oh. A lunchtime delivery of love. Oh, I swear to God. This is the end for me. I'm gonna set this guy on fire. He cannot start showing up to her school. Oh my God. He can't. He can't. He cannot. This is not okay. I'm not okay. This is not okay. 3 seconds left. 2, 1. The lunch chime rang and I was out of my seat so quickly it bordered on unseemly. I walked promptly to Tsumugi.
早くカフェテリアに行きましょう。
Tsumugi, let's go to the
今日の定食は何
cafeteria.
かしら。
I wonder what's on today's lunch special.
相変わらず腹ペコですのね。
I see you're as famished as always, madam.
デザートを2種類頼むのもいいわよね。
Perhaps I should ask for a second dessert. It's also hard to believe that her butler is just ignoring this too. Like, her butler's here, right? Like, he should see this. I'm surprised he's not bringing her second dinner. Tsumugi sighed and rolled her eyes as she stood up. That was when it happened. My phone buzzed in my pocket.
ちょっと待って。ウィスが。
Hold on, I just got a message. Oh no.
どうなさいましたの？
Is something the matter? Tsumugi looked at me curiously. I simply showed her my phone screen. Message from Ichiya Mitsumori. You're studying hard, I'm sure you deserve a reward for your work, so I prepared a big surprise. A perfect lunch packed with all my love. I'm delivering it just for you. I'm waiting at the front gate. Ignore your phone. Pretend you didn't get it.
学校に？
Here? He came to my school with no advance warning whatsoever to ruin my sacred hour of feeding.
とりあえず校門に行ってみましょうか。
Why don't we go to the gate for now? Let's not. Dude, let's not humor this shit. Sometimes, if you just don't like somebody, you don't have to put them in this weird story and make them end up dating each other. How is this working?
行きたくない。
I don't want to. I couldn't take the hunger anymore. I struggled to compose myself while a student came flying into the
道場
room.
様、ご婚約者様をカフェテリアにご案内いたしました。
He should not be allowed on campus. He's 26 years old. He is not family. Schools have rules. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's a quote. At least our schools do. I don't know. Miss Tojo, I showed your fiance to the cafeteria. There was dead silence for a beat. And then the whole classroom erupted in squeals and squeeze. Everyone dashed for the door in an excited rush. That was the point I realized it was inevitable. I couldn't escape this. Get fucking food anyways. By the time I reached the cafeteria, a large crowd had already gathered, and of course, at the center of it was...
お嬢さん、待ってたよ。はあ、つむぎさんも一緒なんだね。
I've been waiting for you. Oh, and you have Sugami with you. Ichiya raised his hand in greeting when he saw me. That alone made the crowd lose its collective mind.
大変なことになってますわね。
My, this has turned into a happening. I could just cry right now. Go out and eat dinner. Don't go back home. This is so stupid. This is the dumbest problem to be having. If you're fucking hungry, eat something. Go make yourself a snack. Sandwiches take no fucking time at all. If this guy is underfeeding you, say you're fucking hungry. This is ridiculous. Like, the fact that she's like, I'm forced now to starve. Like, you are not forced to fucking starve. This is the stupidest. That's not even a real word. And this is still the stupidest. I'm so done. Pushed by the stares of the crowd, I reluctantly made my way up to the table where Ichiya stood. He gracefully ducked around to pull a chair out for me. Don't sit down. You haven't got your tray yet.
さあ、どうぞ。
Have a seat. The crowd again broke into an excited choir. Hiding my disappointment, I carefully composed myself as I
すまな
sat.
いね。校門でお弁当を渡したらすぐに帰るつもりだったんだけど、
I
大
meant
ごとになってしまって。
you didn't have to. You didn't have to accept the person's invitation into the schoolyard. I meant to give you this at the lunch at the gate and leave, but I guess things got a little out of hand. I smothered the urge to sigh. I could not afford to be anything other than my perfectly polite in front of a crowd of this large.
どうして急に学校へ？
Why this sudden decision to come for a visit?
実はね、お嬢さんからカフェテリアのことを聞いてから春日くんにいろいろと教えてもらったんだ。
After you told me about this wonderful cafeteria here, I got curious. I asked Kasuga, and he was kind enough to answer a few of my questions.
そしたらここの生徒は料亭の仕出し弁当を持ち込んだり出来たての料理を運ばせたりしてるって聞いてね。
Apparently, students here will order delivery or bring pre-made lunches from traditional Japanese
それ
restaurants.
で思ったんだ。俺もお弁当を持って会いに行こうって。
Hearing that kind of inspired me. I wanted to deliver a freshly made lunch for you.
確かに持ち込みをしてる生徒はいるけど、それには事前に立ち入り許可が必要。
Yes, there are students who have food delivered to them, but they make certain to inform the school ahead of time and get permission.
一夜さん、どうやってここに？
Ichiya, to be frank, how did you get in here?
もちろん許可を取ってもらったんだ。春日くんにね。
I got permission, of course. I asked Kasuga to get it for me. Kasuga, I resisted the urge to tear my hair out. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Again, if this was The Bachelor, I could evict this man off of my property and I wouldn't have to deal with this trash anymore. Ichiya, of course, didn't even notice. He continued talking. See, like he's just ignoring me, boasting.
アニエスのシェフの腕前を知るいい機会だとも思ったしね。いろいろと勉強して帰ろうと思って。
I figured this was a good chance to see just how talented the St. Agnes chefs were for myself. I'm hoping to ask for some tips before I head home.
でもやっぱり一番の目的は
Oh, this is exactly what everybody wanted. They wanted me to be mad at this game. The biggest reason I wanted to come was so that I could deliver my love directly to you. Our audience nearly lifted the roof off the cafeteria. I felt faint.
三森さん、そろそろお弁当を広げていただきませんと、ランチタイムが終わってしまいますわ。
Mr. Mitsumori, if you don't soon present the meal you prepared, I'm afraid lunchtime will be end before anyone can enjoy it.
ああ、そうだったね。今準備するよ。
Of course, right. I'll set it out right now for you, my sweet. Swear to God, Ichiya gave me one of his patented smiles and set something in front of me that I didn't expect.
ギフトボックスですな。
A set of gift boxes.
お嬢さん、好きな箱を開けてみて。
Open whichever one you like. As he suggested, I picked one of the little gift boxes and undid the ribbon holding it closed.
フルーツサンド。
A fruit sandwich. Another little box held spring rolls stuffed to bursting with shrimp and avocado. And yet another held a little dish of wonderful caramelized creme brulee. Cute. Undoing all the colorful ribbons did bring a sense of excitement, like I really was opening presents on my birthday or
いろ
Christmas.
んなものをちょっとずつ食べたい女子のわがままを考慮しつつ、プレゼントを開けるサプライズ感を演出。
It adheres to the girlish desire to taste just a bite of this or that, all the while presenting it as a series of wonderful
何よりも
surprises.
カラフルな箱とリボンという乙女の心をがっつりつかむ可愛らしさ。
And most of all, the colorful boxes and ribbons have a cute allure to them no girl could resist.
完璧ですわね。
They're perfect. Tsumugi nodded slowly, obviously impressed. Ichiya turned to look at me and asked,
気に入ってもらえた
Do you like it? I hope to God you break. I hope you break right now. I really hated to admit it, but I did honestly think it was cute. I was reluctant about it to nod, but
お手製のお弁当を届けてくださるなんて素敵すぎます。
he delivered a handmade lunch to the school just for her. That's so sweet.
憧れてしまいますわね。私もいつかきっと。
He's a dream boyfriend. I hope that I can find someone this amazing someday.
から見ても完璧な方ね。
Then take him. You can all have him. Please.
きっと幸せに違いありませんわよ。
He's perfect, absolutely perfect. Having a gentleman like him for a boyfriend must be heavenly. I'm sure the two of them are so happy together.
本当に東條様が羨ましいですわ。
I'm so envious, Miss Tojo. She has everything, gazes of envy and expectation stabbed into me. None of the girls in this crowd would be satisfied with a reluctant nod from me after a performance like this. How should the Tojo family heir act when sitting down to a handmade lunch with their perfect boyfriend? I know the answer to that. I turned my lips up in a smile and molded my face into a gentle, happy
あり
expression.
がとう。すごく嬉しいわ。
Thank you, I love it. Ichiya stared at me, too surprised even to
どうした
blink.
の？
What's wrong?
いや、そんなに喜んでもらえると思わなくて。俺も君の笑顔が見られて嬉しいよ。
This is why I hate proposals done in public places, because people feel obligated to act a certain way in public places, and he has no concept of anything else. Nothing. I just didn't expect my humble lunch to make you this happy. I'm glad you got to see you smile. The shrieks from the audience drilled into me and I hit a wince. Tsumugi noticed and turned to the crowd.
皆さん、そんなに注目されると、せっかくのお弁当も味がわからなくなってしまいますわよ。
Ladies, please, it'll be difficult for her to truly enjoy such a lovely lunch while she's under such scrutiny.
俺からもお願いするよ。心を込めて作ったランチだから、彼女に味わってもらいたいんだ。
Yes, let me ask you all to give her a little space too. I put my heart into this lunch, and I'd like for her to savor every bite. At Tsumugi and Ichiya's gentle urging, the crowd slowly dispersed, at least to the edge of our vision anyway.
騒がせてしまってごめんね。でも心を込めて作ったのは本当だよ。よければ紬さんも一緒にどうぞ。
I apologize for all the fuss, my princess, but I meant it when I said I put my heart into this lunch for you, Tsumugi. You're welcome to have some too.
まあ、ではお言葉に甘えて。ね。
She's like, fuck no, I can't. This isn't even gonna fill me up, bro. If you insist, shall we? To be honest, the fuss had killed my appetite, but Tsumugi probed me enough that I took a small bite of a mini muffin. It's good. A savory muffin. It has cheese and bacon baked into it. He must have made it entirely by hand. I don't care. Ichiya knew how to cook. I couldn't deny that. He was tall, dark, and handsome. Older, suave. Older indeed. Skilled at spoiling those he cares for. This is not how spoiling works. And not at all shy about expressing his love. A mini muffin. That's right. Everything's in tiny boxes. In the eyes of most people, he would certainly be considered the ideal boyfriend. Ichiya noticed that I was staring at him and turned his patent cheesy smile on me.
お嬢さん、豆腐を使ったキッシュもどうかな。ズッキーニとスモークサーモンのピンチョスもどうぞ。
Let me eat my hand instead. Leah, would you like to try a bite of this tofu quiche? There are zucchini and smoked salmon pinoche too. He set morsel after morsel in front of me and I quietly ate every bite. But that wasn't enough. I knew that the crowd watching me wanted more. They wanted to hear me say something. Fine, I'll finish the show for them. I swallowed a bite and painted a smile on my
イチヤ
face.
さん、ありがとう。
Thank you, Ichiya. On the corner of my eyes, I could see Tsumugi's brow furrow when I smiled at Ichiya. After lunch was finished, I saw him out of the school gate. There, Ichiya turned a face to me.
ランチタイムを騒がせるつもりはなかったんだ。困らせちゃったよね。
I didn't mean to cause such a fuss during your lunch. That could have been pleasant for you. That couldn't have been pleasant. Yeah, you shouldn't have shown up. Honestly, it was extremely unpleasant. Downright painful even, but I couldn't say that.
でも
You fucking
今日学校に来
can!
て得るものがたくさんあったよ。
Oh, God.
君が他の生徒から慕われていることも分かったしね。
This can't be real. This can't be real. You can't be serious. This is so stupid. I learned a lot by coming here, not the least of which is just how much the rest of the student bodies look up to you. I turned my eyes away and thought, the rest of the students looked up to me. I couldn't deny it. Where are these girls' guts? They're probably still in her original room. Is that it? Is it guts? Is that what she doesn't have? God. But they didn't really look up to me. It was Tojo's name that held their fascination. All of a sudden, I felt my chest tightened. I turned away from Ichiya so he couldn't see me wince.
そろそろ 授業が始まるから。
I have to get back to class.
ちょっと待って。
Wait, fucking no. He dashed off to his sports car, which was parked not far away. He rummaged around in it for a bit and came trotting back with a small bag in his hand.
クッキー焼いたんだ。よければお友達と一緒に食べて。
I baked some cookies too. Feel free to share them with your friends. Girl's starving right now. It was a cute little package of cookies. I'm sure he went to a lot of work to bake them. Considering all his effort, I couldn't say no. I reached out to take the bag. Am I supposed to like this? Because I don't. I felt a tug at my hands as my hands were swallowed by his. I looked up at his face in surprise. He held my hands gently, oh so gently. I don't care. Far more hesitantly too than I expected for someone with such overabundance of confidence.
驚かせてごめん。でも今の俺は君が思っているほど余裕がないんだ。
I am very sorry for if my surprise took you so off guard. I feel so deeply for you that I can't resist treating you like a princess you are. Yeah, and my friends. This bag is from just everybody here. It's actually not that bad of a size for cookies, but if he's given her tiny portions for everything, like... Ichiya was unexpectedly serious, especially for him. I swallowed.
いつもなら学校に押しかけたりしない。でも俺にしかできない方法はこれしか見つけられなくて。
Yeah, but I don't ever want you to come to my school again. I want to enjoy my lunch in peace. I don't want you here. 2 meals a day, bro. 2 meals a day, and I'm assuming you feed me on weekends. Like, quit it. I promise I won't barge in on you at school like this all the time, but cooking for you is the only thing I found that I can do that the others can't.
俺だけにできることで君に振り向いてほしくて。
I want to nourish your love for me with my cooking because it's so special to me. No. She might have to take extreme measures to keep up. Just take out the problem. She's just gonna... She's like, you're my butler, right? You'll do anything I ask, right? Kill him. Just kill him. I thought I saw a little pain in Ichiya's weary grimace. Memories of the look on his face when he asked me how his cooking tastes returned to my mind. Thoughtful, worried, insecure. He always acted confident, but under it all, I don't fucking believe you. He's bluffing. I paused a moment, then quietly said, I thought you knew exactly what girls liked, that you understood what they wanted.
少しくらいは格好をつけさせて。男なんだから。
I don't like this. Let me pretend to be a little cool, please. I do my best as an older guy. Yeah, you're 9 years older than this girl.
必死なんだ。俺はお嬢さんと一番年齢が離れてるし。
Oh, you were so aware. Okay, cool. You shouldn't be dating a 17-year-old. I'm desperately, out of all of us, I'm the one who's furthest from you in age.
普通の女の子が喜ぶことをしてみせても、なぜか君相手だとうまくいかない。
He doesn't even know what he's talking about with women. I'll try all the stunts that make normal girls happy, but for some reason they don't work as well on you. Things that make normal girls happy, huh? I'm not like other girls trope? Oh, I don't feed her. I said that earlier as a joke. Before this turned into a thing, they're like, I don't know what you want. I'm like, food. I'm like, it's food. And it was before this stupid, like, random story started. Just food. Just feed me. Something about what he said struck me as odd.
でも今日、周りの子に君とお似合いだって言われて、少しだけ自信が持てた気がするよ。
I want you to understand, Ichiya, from the bottom of my heart, I do not agree with all the girls in that classroom. Hearing the other girls say that we make a perfect couple did give me a little bit of confidence. The problem is I have to say the answers that make their romance go up, but part of me just doesn't even want to. I have to see. Wait, how do I have a wooden fence? How do I have a wooden fence? I didn't do a bad choice. Did I? Did I? Oh, this is so he can attack the wooden. I see, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see. I see, I see, I see. He's got a broadsword now, guys. He's doing it. I don't think it much matters what others think. Other people could say that they are what they pleased. If I didn't decide what I like, oh gosh, if I didn't decide that I liked him enough to choose him as my fiance, then that was that. Well, that's how I wanted my words to be interpreted.
さすがお嬢さんだ。俺たちに周りの目なんか関係ないさ。二人だけの世界を築き上げよう。
Okay, I'm disassociating for a second. I like the leaves in this picture. Like, look how pretty they made these leaves, like, over, so you can, like, depth of the image. Wow, that's great. That's great. Yeah, Leah, you are absolutely correct. What do we care what others think about us? We'll build our own paradise, just the two of us. What?
君がそんな風に言ってくれるなんて。今日はここに来て本当に良かったよ。ああ、なんて幸せな一日なんだ。
Man, I never expected to hear you say something like that to me. Now I'm over the moon that I came here. Ah, today's the happiest day of my life. Honestly, I'd be desperate enough to eat my school supplies. That's not what I meant. I was seized by the powerful urge to shout a denial, but Ichiya's grip on my hand was growing stronger. Would you let go of my hands?
仕方ないな。
I guess I should. Yes, you should. Ichiya's reluctantly let go of my hands, slid from his face. Oh gosh. Ichiya reluctantly let my hand slide from his face still glowing with a brilliant smile. Then he leaned forward and whispered in my ear.
寂しくなったらいつでも握ってあげるからね。
Even if they feel chilly, I'll gladly hold them again anytime, anywhere. That isn't what I meant. There was no stopping him when he got like this. I glared at Ichiya, desperately trying to keep myself from grinding my teeth into enamel stumps. He dropped his eyes, looking at his wristwatch.
そろそろ時間だね。名残惜しいけど帰るよ。
I really don't want to leave, but it's probably best that I went home. Yes, go, now. He raised his hand in a wave and walked over to the car. He opened the door and then turned back around to me.
お弁当、あんな風に喜んでもらえて嬉しかったよ。少しは俺の愛が届いたかな。
I need more than a hydration. I need a... no, I shouldn't go dark. I won't go dark. I won't go dark. But I want to go dark. I'm glad you enjoyed the lunch I made you. I hope a little taste of my feelings spiced up the dishes.
そうなのね。
I hesitated a breath, wondering how I was supposed to react to that. I settled on a vague smile.
その笑顔、俺以外には見せないでくれ。君という宝石が盗まれては大変だからね。
Please don't let anyone else see that
それじゃ
smile.
愛の巣で待ってるよ。
And I'd die if a thief stole it from me. I'll see you again back home in our cozy love den. I just want to switch the game. He left me with his trademark Shkamatsi winked and zoomed away in his sports car. As I watched him drive away, I rubbed my hands together. His hands were pretty chilly. Was he nervous, perhaps? Who cares? Did he always feel like this? Was he nervous every time he spoke to me? I really don't care. Every time he served a meal to me, he's been faking his personality every time he talks to you. Like what you did today during school, that was you. Well, nah, that's anxiety, actually. Her not being able to speak. How long are you going to stream? I don't know. Wait, do I have a phone? I didn't bring my phone in here. It's been 3 hours and I didn't even realize I don't have it. I actually don't know. We were gonna go see Deadpool and Wolverine today because when we were planning on going to see it, all of the seats were taken. So I don't even know when that is anymore. Let's see, what's the time? Wolverine. Dolby, because that's one of her requirements. Let's find out. What's a good time? Probably 6-ish at least. So about, you don't know what time it is. Don't worry. I'll tell you. It's almost 3 right now, so probably 3 more hours. I don't want to see ratings. Don't show me your ratings. I just want to know your show times. It's fine. We'll figure it out later. 6-ish, unless we're planning on seeing it later. I don't know. Perfect. You're gonna redeem it, aren't you? Looking at it that way, all of a sudden the attitude I'd taken with him seemed a little cold. Girl, don't feel bad. He's trash. Pick a game. Anything but this. Anything but this. Oh my god. Anything but here's what you get to pick from because you said we already played that. That's over. Oh, we have this. Pretty Princess Magical Garden Island. Look at this game. Look at this game. We have Melmole. We're not switching to another Otome game. I'm not in the middle of any other Otome games right now. We're not playing that one. I hated that one. Rhapsody. And Paleo Pines, if you want dinosaurs. I also installed that cat game. Like Little Kitty Big City, I installed that one, so I have that on my computer right now. If you don't pick a game, those are your options. Cat, okay. I'm gonna leave this on while I get the other game loaded. I'll put a timer so I know where we're at. Make sure to save. I am gonna save, yeah. I'm just leaving the sound on right now while my game app loads. Because it's been mean to me lately. It's because we have one account that's got Game Pass on it, and you have to sign into that account and then trick it and then sign into the other account so that you can play your games. And I only think that's fair because if I'm paying $100, I don't remember how much we're paying. I should be able to play it with multiple accounts. Hear me out. While it's loading, I'm just gonna read. Maybe I can get to the end of this chapter while it's loading. Welcome back. That certainly was a diversion. I didn't know what to say, so I simply held out the bag of cookies Ichiya had given me. Here. Eat these if you want them. Signed in the wrong account. See, this is how I know. Should have known what it said. I had friends online. It's like, what friends? Before Tsumugi could say more, she was interrupted by the chime of a bell. I sat at my desk and looked out the window. Gotta sign back in. And looked out the window. Thoughts of Ichiya right before he left floated in my mind. Don't let him get to you. He's glad the lunch he cooked for me made me happy. The face I'd showed to him today was my public face. It's no mystery why he reacted well to it. My public face was the one I wore specifically to please the people around me. Thinking about it, my public face was probably the one I thought I ought to be wearing all the time. I mean, that normal girl wouldn't be overjoyed to see her ideal boyfriend come to visit her at school with a lunch made especially for her. Has it signed me in yet? It's still signing me in. I'm so sorry. I hadn't been. Could there be something wrong with me? Doubt ran through my mind, dampening my mood. I spent the rest of class sitting in a cloud of my own uncertainty. Did I clear it? Did I clear it? Because clearing it would be great. Yes. Okay, great. Then I'll save here. I have a wish message. Well, we're going to have to wait for next time. All right. So, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this lovely game of Barricade we played today, and then we had to stop playing because Prim redeemed to play a different game. Bye! Thank you so much for being here. As always, I stream about 3 times a week, and you can catch me on Twitch if you're watching this on YouTube. As always, if you guys are here on Twitch, you can watch my VODs on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna see if there's somebody we can raid before we head out today. Oh, perfect. We're gonna raid Drim. I think that's it. Yeah. She's playing Norn 9, which is a great time. You can tell her hi and just let her know I had to run out because I have to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. Bye guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you Prim, thank you Muma, thank you Mama, thank you everybody.